everybody. It's Zan and Pat.
Yeah.
Pat.
No, I'm Pat. You got the overlays wrong, my dude.
Oh no, not again. Don't do this to me.
It's actually a little bit easier because there's the text window in there, so they all know that I'm goofing.
Oh, but what if that?
It's a deep goof. One of us has got to be wrong. It's me or the captions.
Yeah. Well, welcome to another already exciting episode of Burgers and Buds, where the two of us shit around and talk about Bob's Burgers. For a surprisingly long amount of time, and then we realize how long it's been and have to really condense how much time each episode gets.
I feel like it's not actually that surprising if anyone has been on any conversations with us in the past.
Yeah. Do you wanna tell folks who you are first? Start us off?
Yeah, I totally can. Yeah, I'm Zan. I do tabletop things in a whole bunch of places. I'm also actively and currently looking into finding ways to integrate therapy into tabletop games and what you can do with that in a therapeutic practice. And you can find me on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the wee hours of the morning on Polished Cryptid's channel, playing some Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah.
Nice. Yes, and I'm Pat. I'm a Tactric Online, like this channel that you found, or Twitter or YouTube, wherever. Thank you for the host. Yeah. What do? I play tabletop games and video games, and when my life is more under control than I've currently got it, there's a schedule where that happens regularly on the channel. Right now, we're doing it by the seat of our pants when we're free, like today. For our second round of this, are gonna be diving into the Thanksgiving episodes of Bob's Burgers.
Fucking Bob's Burgers. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I have to start out with this because, and I think we're gonna get into this in our little one I assume our next episode, which is gonna be Christmas, which is where I know
this is the
you
last
and I
one. We never talk again after tonight.
Right. You know what? Fair, because I think once we got to the Christmas episode, there would be a schism because I know we have. You know, when I say I know we have very different opinions on all of them, and I guess we kind of do, but Christmas. Okay, but
we're just building up that anticipation in this episode. We're never going to talk about the Thanksgiving episodes. We're just going to be teasing you all for the Christmas shit tonight.
Yeah. My thing is though, they started in season 4, season 3. Started season 3. So did season 3? They just decide let's do holiday specials now.
I guess, like, fuck it, let's do it. Well, because
that's when. They did with the real mannequins too. That's when
that was the season.
So they did just decide, fuck it, let's do Halloween, let's do holiday specials because they didn't do anything before that point.
I don't know if that so this is me not knowing enough of the history of the show and like when it was signed to the contracts, to any whatever contracts or I wonder if the first 2 seasons were almost more of like a trial basis and then it kind of like got itself more established. Maybe got more episodes per season, because I forget how much were in the first 2 seasons, but I know once you hit season 3 it's pretty regular, because I want to say season 2 only had like half as many episodes as the others.
Yeah, season 2 is really short. Well, yeah, okay,
but yes, for whatever reason season 3 is when they decided, hell, we're doing holiday episodes. We're hitting all the big ones.
What you do. But Pat, what's gonna make this stream different from like us just sitting around bullshit? Like, is there anything? Are we like prepping with anything?
I don't know that we can make it different than us sitting around bullshitting. I think that's gonna be but we can add bells and whistles to that bullshit.
Oh man, I'm here for some bells and whistles.
Yeah. I think each of us has got an edible treat prepared with us for this discussion.
Indeed. I have some wonderful galactic jack on a half a Funyun.
I have some white buffalo on a dark chocolate Hershey's bar. Cheers.
A Hershey's bar? Really? And I did pick Funyuns specifically because it would be the worst radio imaginable.
I'm loving my choice right now.
The easy to eat, impossible to swallow Hershey's. Hershey's, yeah, makes sense. Totally makes sense.
I'm also realizing the water I filled up right before we went on stream is sitting in the kitchen where I filled it up.
So for the folks at home who didn't hear it, when we were like doing our pre-stream stuff, I walked away to go get some water and everything, and then I assume out of nowhere Patrick heard shit, because I almost got back to my room and I realized that I too had left my water. So we can empirically say it does happen to the best of us. All right, but season 3, that's when this kicks off.
That's our first one, with an indecent Thanksgiving proposal.
That is right. Okay. So an indecent Thanksgiving. Wait, that is. Oh man, I have my Thanksgiving episodes out of order. Yeah, you're totally right.
And for folks that weren't able to maybe join us for the Halloween one, at least the format of what we did then was we kind of just ran through the episodes, chatted about what we liked about them, cool links that it had with any other episodes, and really just followed whatever tangents we came up with until we got bored of that and moved on to the next one. There's a good chance that that's exactly how it'll roll tonight. But please, if you're here, if you've got stuff to contribute or things you'd like to hear us talk about, let us know in chat. But yeah, it's otherwise what we'll kind of do is we'll introduce the episode, do a quick little rundown of all the stuff that happened, and then just chat about shit.
Yeah. So I'm going to take this first one because I am really excited about it. I think this is one of two drunk Bob episodes, and I'm always here for a good drunk Bob. So this is an indecent Thanksgiving proposal where Mr. Fishoder shows up to the restaurant and through some savvy negotiations on the part of Linda, manages to snag 5 months of free rent if her and the kids pretend to be Mr. Fishoder's family, so that he can win back this woman of his dreams, who will only go for married men. So, there's that. And then, of course, the inevitable chaos ensues. There's a bottle of absinthe that, like most things on Thanksgiving, talks to Bob. Bob tends to have almost exclusively one voice for food, with one exception that we'll come to later.
Ooh.
Are we both on
the same one?
See, this is the hard part about coming up with trivia for each other. But yeah, so ultimately there is a casualty. It's the turkey. Spoiler. And life goes on. But it's a really cool little episode. What did I miss about it?
Not much, really. It was, they dive pretty much right into with what you said is Mr. Fishoder shows up literally right at the beginning, and then you're going to the Fishoder estate immediately after. It's, I think, one of the interesting things we talked about with the Halloween episodes where there's so few where there's not a, like, delineated A and B story going on.
Yeah,
and this is another one where there's not really. Like, it's the most I feel like you could split it into would be like inside the kitchen group and outside the kitchen group.
Yeah. There's front of house and back of house. That is the entire thing of the episode.
Yeah. But I mean, even that is all tied together. It's not like their own individual things. Because I think we talked about this with the haunting episode where they all go to the haunted house that they make for Louise, which is, it's weird that we don't get some sort of cutaway story going on.
I mean,
not weird in a bad way, just unique. For these episodes.
It's just I could almost say that the B plot is the Mr. Fishoder tickets.
Yeah.
I could, other than the obvious B plot of the front of house and back of house, the ticket game that the kids play to whenever they say do something off the top of my head, like do an interpretive dance about how much they love their father, who is Mr. Fishoder, uh, they will win a good child token, and at the end of the day, whoever has the most tokens gets to pick one thing out of their house.
Out of the prize room, wasn't it?
Out of the no, was it the prize? I think it was the entire house, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Because why would the what the prize was, which was a wonderfully done classic like coat of arms like portrait, which is very confusing.
It was a very legit family portrait of the fake Fishoder family.
Yeah. Why would that be in the prize room and not being? Because that was on the mantelpiece, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
So Mr. Fishoder's got to follow his own rules, man. Sloppy.
Oh my gosh! Speaking of the three, God, do you remember? Because I did not write this down. What were the freaking? Each of the kids had an exclamation when they came in the house of what they thought must be true in the house. And like Tina's was like,
man.
I bet you the toilets shoot rainbows or something like that.
Yeah.
And I can't remember.
I bet there's dead people somewhere.
A dungeon of Dungeness crabs was Jean's. And Louise's was definitely something about like death for sure.
Yeah, and two of them are three.
Yeah,
Two of
it
them
was
are three.
Mr. Fishoder was just like, two of the three of you are right. And then it's like they all ran off to find out. And Tina calls out a second later. She's like, I was right. So the
That's
rainbow
good.
toilets is one of them.
I think Louise's is probably accurate. I don't think, because we saw how big his kitchen is. So if that's the love that he gives his kitchen, which is, spoiler alert, y'all, it's not great. If that's what he does, I don't think that he's going to invest the time in having like an entire cage of edible crabs.
Well, it's because what did he say because he was giving essentially the family a tour of the estate. This was our first time seeing the Fishoder home.
Right.
I forget. Did he say that it was built by a former arsenic manufacturer? Somebody who was clearly not in a great place when they designed this place.
Yeah.
It's almost like the Winchester Mystery Mansion of homes.
So here's the theory, and this is just one of Zan's crazy conspiracies. But what if it was true that there was a dungeon of Dungeness crabs, and that is what was later converted into the Wolf House from the famous episode Wolf of Wharf Street.
Right, but I feel like it would have been ready sooner, and the Wolf House wasn't ready.
I mean, I don't think time is a construct within the show. I feel like time doesn't actually exist, because how many birthdays have we had? How many? Jean is still 12. I think, yeah.
Gosh, I'm trying to think of other gems from this episode too.
It was really good. I really appreciated, slightly terrified by how Bob portrays Lance's death.
Yeah.
Because it goes into it, man. He whispers, and you can't understand what he's saying, and then he's gone. He's dead.
For those listening, Lance was the turkey.
Oh yeah, I guess that's a small detail.
He gets shot by Mr. Fishoder's love interest pursuit.
Yeah, through a door, but it sounds like Bob gets fucking shot.
Yes.
Like the door is closed. This is a musket, yeah?
Yeah, no, she was, I feel like it wouldn't have been her first time hiding a dead body either. Was the impression I got.
Is a very strong word right there. She was, this is a wealthy person. They would have been protecting their property.
You're not wrong. But now I hadn't even considered this, but this should definitely go on the list of episodes where the family could have narrowly
100%. Yeah, this should have definitely been a, oh man, there's a Mort's. It's called Mort's. This is very high on the Mort scale. How likely you are to die in any given activity. like folding laundry is like a 1.7 because it's you spend a lot of time folding laundry, but it's not really that inherently dangerous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's that'll. I mean, that'll go on. It's. I think we had at least 3 of the Halloween episodes that we.
Oh yeah.
So it's we'll
Oh
have
yeah.
to compare how many Thanksgiving episodes get racked up to. See which holiday proves to be the most potentially lethal for the Belchers.
Oh man. Yeah.
I can think of at least another
Oh
one
yeah. There's
that we'll get
so
to.
many, and Christmas and
Oh
thanks.
yeah,
Okay,
Chris.
we'll get into it then.
But yeah, it's. Do we have any other stuff to talk about with this one?
For this one, I let's see, because I know there's some solid stuff in this. Uh, what is the compliment that Calvin gives his guest, his lady friend? What is the compliment that he gives her to try to win her over?
I'm not sure I'm thinking of the right thing.
When she or no when I guess this is at the end when she says you went through this much trouble for little old me.
Oh yeah, it's you're not little, you're not old. At least not where it counts, or something like that.
You're not old and you're not little.
There we
Not
go.
where it counts in the wubba wubba. I don't really know what the wubba wubba is, but it's apparently important.
Yes, and it's she respects herself too much not to be the other woman and stormed out.
Right. This is the only time we see Bob drink absinthe, though, right?
I don't remember any other absinthe episodes.
Ooh, does he drink absinthe when he has the chef friends? Because
Maybe
I know he drinks
I know
some wild stuff.
he drinks something from Iceland. I think he's
He does. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of
Fermented
absinthe
milk or
making another
something.
appearance.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm trying to think of weird shit that they imbibe.
I mean, I can
we
really like
we
thinking
get
about
jelly
Bob's.
bean schnapps at some point.
Oh, we
With-
do. I forgot about that on Easter.
Yep.
And then there's the peach schnapps
that she got from somebody in a parking lot outside the grocery store.
Oh, it's awful. All right, there was also the schnapps at the middle school dance.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get the full experience.
I'm not mixing peach and mint.
Gotta have some fucking standards. You know, complete tangent. I only can think of one episode where it looks like Bob is drunk on beer. The rest of the time, Bob seems like a hard liquor kind of guy.
On beat, huh?
And it's just the frat party episode.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because at the club, he's an LIT guy. He's
Oh yeah. When that's okay. That's the for whatever reason the kids are away at camp. That's the camp
Yeah.
episode, and they
that's,
get to finally go out and party.
Mount Windy Gap. Yeah, Teagle.
Yeah, and so they're getting smashed on Long Island iced teas.
Yeah.
There's in a few episodes that we'll talk about. I think he's drinking some daytime whiskey.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get to one of those.
Yeah, we talked about the eggnog or the jelly bean liquor. And then, oh shit, there was another one, but it was also, I think it was also hard liquor. I'm thinking of.
Yeah, Bob.
Yeah.
Apparently, Bob drinks hard liquor. It's good to know. Good to know that. But is there anything else we need that we're missing on this one?
No, I mean we've got our first Thanksgiving song with Linda's.
You're right.
The first of many Thanksgiving songs to come, with Linda trying to find the right place to just force that into the conversation.
Because it's a music. Because all good plays have musicals.
Yeah.
It's okay.
No one likes plays without music. And then I was just trying to think if there was any other good good instances of the kids winning tickets? I
Um,
know Tina was doing very poorly.
yeah, and
She was
then
just very flustered by the whole situation, like raising up her glasses to raise the glasses.
and she, not she, I and Jean went a little overboard. Like
Hmm.
really, it was Louise was the only one who even had a snowball's chance of getting this. But yeah, okay.
Why
So
can't
let's.
Father's Day be every day?
All right, take it easy. Take it easy. Dial it back. Um, okay.
Yeah.
So next,
Next, we got another good one in season 4 with Turkey in a Can. Uh, we find we start out with Bob very excited about a new brine recipe. Is a common trend we will see throughout our Thanksgiving episodes is that Bob is in love with the holiday. It's his favorite day of the year, and
best day of the year.
nobody else in the family cares about Thanksgiving. God, they actually in the episode we just discussed they ranked their favorite holidays, and it's I want to say Thanksgiving was not even on the rest of the family's list. There was like
I mean, like Black Friday came before it,
yes, yeah, Black Friday was before it.
which
Um,
is which is
Labor
weird
Day,
because later
Arbor Day.
we find out later that Easter is an absolute hellscape for them. So
Yes,
I don't know. I don't know how that stands up.
mhm.
Maybe
But yeah, it's a
weird timeline.
so Bob very excited about a 3-day prep recipe for the turkey. We find out this year they're having Thanksgiving at their place. They're serving it for Gail and Teddy and Mort are all going to come over. Uh, yeah, Gail is already there with her 3 cats. She acquired 2 since the last time we met her. One of whom was on the way to their apartment because it was just sitting there on a porch out in the sun. Poor thing. So Gail just
Just
took that cat
abandoned.
with her.
But
So
it's
Mr.
okay because now, yeah, now they're going to let her adopt that fourth cat. You know,
Yeah. Gosh, it's will we ever find out the home that Mr. Business was actually taken from?
I, I mean, I hope so. But also, who are the other cats?
Gosh, I feel like the thin black cat is the one that we see the earliest, or maybe it was a gray one. We see in the first season we do see her with 1 cat. And I know Mr. Business is the one that she picked up on the way there.
Yeah. Hmm.
But yeah, uh, cats are there. Cats are getting into everything. Bob's allergic to cats and having to take a bunch of allergy pills. And also Tina's trying to convince everyone she's adult enough to sit at the adults table for Halloween, going with all of her planned Tina discussions, uh, discussion topics about the economy and trying on trying on different types of makeup all over her face. It's Coco Chanel meets Braveheart.
That was that Jean or Linda that said that? Because whoever it was gold.
It was Linda.
Oh
It
man.
was like, ooh, I love it. Coco Chanel meets Braveheart.
Oh man. And oh, so here's a little bit of trivia. Um, what was not found under the couch when it broke?
Any of the Thanksgiving's Day vegetables that Jean and Louise mentioned.
Ah, you got me.
Yeah,
It's fascinating back
right.
there.
Yeah, it's in Jean and Louise have no idea why Tina would want to sit at the adults table, since all of the vegetables from all of their Thanksgivings apparently just wind up under the couch, um, and may have just turned into their own life form and disappeared on their own between this episode and then 2 or 3 seasons later, where Louise sabotages the couch to break.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's with all of that going on, the episode takes a turn where Bob wakes up in the middle of the night and finds the turkey in the fucking toilet.
And Bob isn't the only one to find it in the toilet.
Yes. He goes running out and talks to Linda. Linda's like, "No, you're dreaming." And then Tina screams out, having gone to use the bathroom and sat on the turkey.
I went to use the bath. It was dark, and I went to use the bathroom, and I touched something, and it was cold, and I'll never be again.
So the turkey winds up there, winds up in the cat's litter box.
And then the cats eat it.
Yep, but they're vegetarian, Bob.
Oh, God.
Yes. So we get this for the rest of the episode. Bob continuing to go out and buy new turkeys to prepare with a less amazing brine recipe because he keeps losing days. And then each night the turkey's winding up in the toilet and nobody taking responsibility for the crime. Everybody assumes Louise did it because it's Louise. And it's.
I mean, Louise has a great bit of evidence that it wasn't her. Like, has a whole conspiracy board. Her whole Pepe Sylvia little thing. Well, it was Jean because there can only be one star, and it's not your turkey. It's Jean.
There can only be one bird at this table. A songbird. What about Linda? Poor suffering Linda in a bad marriage. And Linda's on the couch like, oh. Gosh, yes, Louise is the absolute showman, of course. I'm disappointed that they did not make a connection between Louise investigating the crime and apparently their annual tradition, which stopped the previous year of her and Bob playing Turkey CSI investigation every year.
Yeah.
They bust out in the very next episode, the very next Thanksgiving episode, where they could utilize those skills appropriately. No Turkey CSI skills come out.
Yeah, that is interesting. I didn't catch that. Huh. It's very interesting. But this seems like another episode that doesn't have a B plot. Am I right? Because there's only one that I can think of.
The rest of the family provides a bit of a B plot this time around. Because if you want to picture just camera focused on Bob as the A shot, and if you were gonna say his trips to the store being the B plot,
I'm gonna say his trips to the store the B plot.
So you got that thread, but then you've also got Jean trying to write a perfect Thanksgiving carol, working in the background with Gail and Linda the whole episode. With Tina trying increasingly desperately to prove that she's an adult to everyone. And Louise, like you mentioned, putting together her Pepe Sylvia conspiracy board in the background.
Or it could be Bob when he goes to the store after each night when the turkey is sequentially destroyed. It is acquired, brined for one last day, and everybody knows a 3-day brine isn't as good as a 4-day brine, which I do want to say.
The brine that was the name of the fancy brine, right?
That was it, wasn't it? Ah, damn it. I do think this is a very good way to tell, to keep the story moving, though, to have it broken into the days. I think that was a very good storytelling tool that they used. But I would say that the beeline is when Bob keeps going back to the store, keeps buying the new turkey each day, and there is, what I'm going to say is the 2D equivalent of a very well put together man. And him and Bob are good and they're chatty. Bob tells him that he does for a living. I believe the term is negs him a little bit. Yeah. He says it's not so easy to come into just cook in the kitchen, is it? But slowly, over several trips, over several days, because who goes to buy 3 turkeys in 3 days?
4 turkeys in 3 days. He gets 2 at the last trip.
Because who does that?
Well,
nobody does.
Bob keeps not something I did not realize until now in this conversation. Bob is getting increasingly more disheveled and frantic looking over that time too.
He is, yeah. He's slowly more and more medicated.
Yes. Was just coming in more and more desperate for what he's looking for.
And it turns out what he's looking for is the guy behind the counter. Because we learned something really interesting about Bob in this episode, and it's that Bob is only mostly straight.
Mm-hmm.
And his lack of confidence, however, does seem to be his undoing, because he, despite his, he really won over the guy behind the counter. He you know he could really see a future with Bob instead of what was his partner's
Tony.
name? Tony, right?
Is currently seeing Tony, and it's Tony and his dancing, and it's always about his dancing. No, Tony sounds great. You should stay with Tony.
Let's face it, you're out of my league.
Yeah, that was the last thing Bob said to him. It's like, if I wasn't, no, what am I saying? You're out of my league.
And it's important to say that he was walking away and then turned around to say, and even if like the conversation was over, and then Bob just had to go and take another step back and be like, oh hey, but I, really though,
Well, it was because it's that, and then Bob is like running away essentially with the turkey at that point, and it's just like, I'll see you tomorrow, and he's just like, probably not. I'll call you or
maybe
something.
Yeah. It's good. It's so good. Because that is one of the rare occasions that we get to see Bob interacting with people unrelated to his ventures in the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is entirely unrelated to the restaurant of Bob's Burgers. He's not doing it as like going, as a tenant or as a parent or something. This is just a Bob's, and this is kind of a social life for Bob, or what passes for one. And like, it's just interesting and refreshing to see Bob outside of his normal environment.
Oh, absolutely. And it's you get into that too in other episodes where it's essentially all the episodes that revolve around him accepting that Teddy is his best and only friend because he doesn't see anybody else. I do enjoy getting them out, like getting him to in these situations where we get to see him interact with other people like that. I think that's one of the reasons why I like I forget which season it is, but Land of the Loft, I think. Where they go to the loft party with like the trendy art people that they're friends with. It's the B plotter when the kids take the ice cream truck around.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Is that the one where they go to the gentleman
to Pickles?
To Pickles, yeah.
They end the night at Pickles because that's where Jen's hot cousin works.
And they all have black eyes,
yeah.
But not related to Pickles, thankfully.
Yeah.
Oh,
I like episodes like that like they could get along with other people and have friends. It seems silly, but I like getting to see, like you were saying, those rare social interactions with them outside of the restaurant.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I mean, have we gotten to the big like reveal of the episode?
No. We've got well. First, we can set it up with Luis's big reveal, which is she's put together that no one of the Belchers and Gail could be the criminal. But what if Jean and Tina were working together? Because she's been slowly stealing their allowance money over the course of years. So it agreed that Tina was too mature to do this on her own, and that Jean was not a suspect because he's too afraid of the shower ghost that lives in the bathroom. So that the two of them worked together to make up for those inadequacies. Pitched that. Found out Jean and Tina did not know they were being stolen from, and tried to cover that back up. And then Bob just falls asleep at the table. And it's revealed that he's been hallucinating and passing the fuck out because of those allergy pills that he has to take with the cats. And gosh, do you wanna take the finish here?
Yeah. So the finish here is that as Bob is walking away holding the turkey, almost some could say paternally, cradling it really. We overhear him muttering to it, and he's affirming that it's a good girl, and that he's very proud of her, and we hear him refer to it as Tina, and he sets the toilet on the rim, the turkey on the rim of the toilet, and waits for his dream image of his child growing up, shitting to be done, and then the turkey just falls into the toilet, and then we have the rescue scene with Teddy, who none of us knew that Teddy was apparently a professional backyard wrestler. He
Yes.
just comes right up behind him and puts him in the.
Just a
It's
freaking
almost the soup.
yeah.
It's a suplex, but not the suplex part of the suplex. It's the behind the arms restraint.
It gets to the point where they're afraid of losing the stuffing in the turkey, and so they go from never wake a sleepwalker to assault and wake up the sleepwalker. Because
Yeah,
I think Luis starts it with a smack, and then Teddy just starts restraining him. Gene is wrapped around one of his legs, screaming.
it's a scene of true chaos. It's a
Yes.
proper Thanksgiving.
Gail cries out that it's the end of the world and starts making out with Mort.
Oh man, Mort. I we need to do a Mort episode at some point.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
That's
we'll just add that to the list.
yeah.
Mort.
We'll do that next.
Mort?
Day of the
Question
Dead
mark?
next time. Yeah, it's just so. I do appreciate the fact that this episode is a. It's not a Gale centric episode, but it's like related to it, and it doesn't stress me out
Mm-hmm.
because most of the episodes that stress me out the most are Gale heavy episodes, like the Christmas one where Gale sprains her ankle, and the episode with where they introduce Doctor Yap,
Oh,
and the yurts. Like all of the Gale episodes really stress me out, and this one doesn't. The Gale is enough to be present, but not so much that my blood pressure goes up.
mm-hmm.
I mean, that's. I find that very interesting. I feel like they use the right amount of Gale.
This was the
seasoning in
right
this
amount of
episode.
Gale. It's
Perfect
one of
amount.
those things where you just add a dash too much and that's all you can taste.
It's the Goldilocks zone of Gale. Yeah,
Just the right amount.
just perfect. Anyway, is there anything that stood out to it about you, or stood out about it to you?
I mean, I don't know. I love the whole Bob side storyline. The will they won't they romance between him and the butcher. Um, I mean that's great. And then just the whole mystery aspect of it, and the whole like Louise gathering everybody in the parlor at the end for the big reveal, like classic fucking detective story bullshit. I thought all the elements for this episode just worked together really well.
It was good. I would say this is. It's not my favorite Thanksgiving episode, but it is very well constructed.
Yeah, I think
It's a
it's
good
definitely in
Thanksgiving
my top
episode.
like 3 or 5, but it's not my favorite.
I could put it in my 5 pretty easy. Yeah, is there anything else we need to hit on there?
I don't know. I think we're good. If we forgot
All right.
something, we can go back. There's
What? No,
Yes.
we would never backtrack. That's not how we do.
Yes. No, we follow
Oh.
a strict schedule for all of our discussions. Let me just check our agenda for the next episode. Yeah, I mean next we get into season 5 for our third year of Thanksgiving and holiday episodes with Dawn of the Peck.
So I'm gonna go ahead or go right out and say I think Dawn of the Peck is my favorite Thanksgiving special. Like I do love another one coming up later. I do really care for one, but man, I think it was like this week when I realized that Dawn of the Peck was season 5,
Mm-hmm.
and it seems like it is way newer than that. It just holds up so well. Like everything in it is great. The B plot is wonderful. I love the music choice in it.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
got a little dash of regular sized Rudy there at the very end. It's fucking wonderful.
Yes.
It brings in so many characters.
Yeah, yeah. It's I'm spoilers. It is also my favorite Thanksgiving episode. So I think this is the holiday where our preferences overlap the most.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Yeah, and it like you were saying, it uses all of these side characters, um, or B characters, whatever you want to call them, but it uses them like we were saying with Gale last episode to the right amount that they're not over you. It's not obnoxious that they're hanging around for so long or anything like that, or they're not taking like too much time out of it. They don't see their presence isn't a detriment, if that makes sense. They don't feel like shoved in. It all works very
100%.
well together, and it's gosh, it's I Bob alone talking to food and or kitchen equipment is just such beautiful scenes every time it happens.
Literally every time.
Because this time around we get God, did we have not talked. We didn't do our little intro about the episode. We just started gushing immediately.
Oh God, we did, didn't we? Okay.
So
well,
in Dawn of the Peck, we start out the episode with Bob pouting and the rest of the family excited to go to the Wonder Wharf first annual Turktacular Turkey Town Festival, which Bob thinks is not appropriate Thanksgiving time activities to go watch what is essentially a running of the bulls but with turkeys, which Linda's going to participate in, and the kids are all going for like half price rides and all that stuff, I think. And so Bob gave an ultimatum that if that's where everybody was going to spend Thanksgiving, then he was taking Thanksgiving off and he was not cooking Thanksgiving dinner. Which the rest of the family, as we established, does not care about as much as Bob does.
Is this the episode where they list off the other holidays that they like?
No, it was in. I think that was
the first one.
I think that was in the first one, because I think I think the scene was Mr. Fishoder in the restaurant to them, and Bob just being like, "No, we can't do that. Thanksgiving is this family's favorite holiday," and then everyone's just like, "Favorite holiday," and then I think that's when we get that list.
That's it. Okay.
But so yes. So the rest of the family is heading over to Wonder Wharf for the day. Bob is pouting and day drinking at the apartment for the rest of the day,
which
is fantastic.
Hello, daytime whiskey.
Yes.
I bet you would like Donna Summers.
Yes. He's going through his album collection, drinking his daytime whiskey, and eventually having these side conversations with the turkey baster. Who I don't think this is. I don't think I caught this, but I think this is one of the times where the utensil or food doesn't talk back to him. I think this conversation's entirely one-sided.
Yeah, it
which
just
I'm interpreting.
But it's like that song "More Than Words." It's just basting.
But it's I hadn't caught on to that. It's weird because we usually get. Like in the Indecent Thanksgiving proposal, we heard Lance's responses to Bob in his turkey voice that he uses
every time.
Yeah, or we hear him, we always hear his side of it. We hear him doing both sides, and to only get one, I feel like should have felt weirder to me, and I didn't notice it.
Yeah.
It's just like it was just Bob really yelling at the turkey baster. This is classic you, turkey baster. Classic turkey baster. Not wanting to fit in the drawer so it can close.
Or we're gonna make a scene.
You think I wanted this? Right now. I didn't want this.
Oh.
But yes, we have that going on in the background of a end of days movie. The Fishoders, surprise, may have cut some corners setting up the Turkey Town dash.
Can we just talk about, real quick, the scene that this episode opened with?
Oh, I love it.
Might be the most frightening scene that they've had in any episode. Thanksgiving, Halloween, regardless, doesn't matter. They opened this with a truck driver insisting that two of the carnies at the Wonder Wharf just sign the paper so they can get out of here. And we see a livestock truck, chicken truck. I don't know. I grew up near chicken plants, and that is a very common thing on the road. And it's like, oh yeah, that's of course that's what it is. And the driver is obviously freaked out, and the two employees are real nonchalant about it. And the driver, gets them to sign it, and runs away. Basically, says that they're from some weird farm upstate or something like that. And then, as one of the two folks trying to befriend the fowls, uh, puts his hand inside of the cage with a pretzel for them to eat, and then is immediately mauled by various feathered creatures who screeches, "Ah, my hands, my beautiful hands!"
Oh no, not your beautiful hands!
It's so good. Just that one throwaway away line at the very end of that scene was so good, and then it like flashes to like Dawn of the Pack, and it has a proper horror movie opening in this. It's really good.
I think that's one of the reasons that I like this episode, just because of they add all the little like stylistic trappings like that to it. Like, I think we get a not that it's a holiday episode, but I totally want to talk about it at some point. We get a lot of that in the deepening episode too,
Right.
where they get the mechanical shark over at the Wonder Wharf from their legally distinct from Jaws horror series. But yeah, they do little episodes like that with just the little stylistic changes real nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but yeah, we did not get far in explaining what happens.
No, we didn't. God, I just
so it's that box of birds. You get the explanation between the fish odor twins, or not twins, brothers. But apparently, for some reason, Felix had a hard time finding turkeys last minute around Thanksgiving, and so there's also a lot of geese and ducks, and it's a real menagerie of birds in there. It is not a good public health situation with those species intermingling in there. And the birds are obviously all freaked the fuck out. So they get set up for the running of this group of birds, and what you expect would happen happens, and they just attack everybody.
Great.
Yes. The fish odors make it out of the park and close the entrance on whoever's all still inside. Eventually they get caught on the news saying like, "Oh no, there's definitely still people in there. I could hear them screaming as I shut the gate."
Can't you put a little fun infographic underneath this, like a little
total success?
Oh, it's a good one. I like seeing the fish odors actively deal with problems because they're so bad at it and somehow always get away.
Yes. It's almost never find. But yes, it's Linda and Teddy who were in the race. Linda gets knocked out. Teddy brings them into a House of Mirrors funhouse situation. The kids were on one of those spinny ass whirly rides, being operated by everybody's favorite carny Mickey Tank Bank, former bank robber, now carny Mickey. Who flees and leaves them on the running ride when the birds attack, throwing the ride keys into the ocean because birds can't have this technology.
Which is fair.
Yes.
I mean, he did the painful but sensible thing.
Yes, what is the life of these 6 kids versus all of humanity if the birds get that technology?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes, stuck on this ride with the Belcher children are regular size Rudy, and Andy and Ollie Pesto, right?
That is indeed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they can't seem to get out. And I believe at one, because they are, like you said, they're stuck on this fucking running ride, which is essentially, I don't know, the fairs that I went to would have called it a scrambler. And it is centrifugal force. That word force, the ride, basically. Like, that's the whole fucking part of it, and it is rough. And they get out while they're trying to escape the running ride. Was it Andy or Ollie that jumps out and then is somehow through teleportation thrown back into it as the things rotate around, and it has the beautiful line, did I travel through time?
Yeah.
Oh man.
And then Louise does some like American Ninja Warrior bullshit where she's successfully hopping between 3 or 4 different moving cars, and then also winds up immediately back in the one she started in.
It's, oh, it's a good time. It's a good time.
But yes, eventually the 3 grown-ups in that situation start getting together and meeting up, exchanging theories on what's happening. Uh, Teddy insists that this is all biological and that the pecking order is all messed up by getting all those birds together. Linda, leaning on on how upset Bob was, says that they've upset the spirit of Thanksgiving, and this is the price they have to pay. And Mickey says that you can only eat a species for so long. Now it's the turkey's time.
I mean, can I just say that I legitimately believe Teddy's? I was like, okay. I mean, I'm not familiar with that, but that sounds reasonable. Yeah. Okay, I guess it's. Oh wait, Linda said a goofy thing. I bet this is a joke. I don't know. Which one do you believe, Pat? Because I think it is the pecking order.
Yeah, no, that was
Definitely pecking order.
Yeah.
Did you grow up with like large birds around you, Pat? I know you grew up fairly urban. Other than the pigeons, I mean.
No, and pigeons aren't that big. I mean, you still got like geese and stuff around lakes occasionally. Not that I was around lakes all that much. But like I had not encountered them, I guess.
I spent, God, what was it? It was probably like first through like sixth grade, I think. We had 2 absolutely demonic white geese that didn't sleep at our house, but like lived at our house and just hung out there during the day. And man, those things are nasty.
Yeah.
They're
not nice.
What? Okay, so I'm gonna ask you.
Despite what Tina will then try and convince us of in later seasons, geese are not friends.
Well, that's a different
and not
kind of
love
goose,
interests either.
You should never romance.
Never date a goose.
There's a reason that
a goose named Bruce.
Game. That is a good ending theme, though. I do really like Roast the Goose. Big fan of that. Ah, shit. Where were we?
Right. We have to trace backwards.
Oh man, I know what we didn't talk about, and we didn't talk about the fact that Linda has, to stay refreshed on her fun run. Linda has 8 tiny bottles of water.
Her little water babies.
All the water babies are around her waist, and it's wonderful. And that is ultimately what saves the day while they're on this roller coaster. With spinny big.
Without the keys to shut off the ride, they have to reach the drunk operator override switch, which is the switch that appears on all of the carnival rides in case the carnival operator gets drunk and they need to manually switch stuff off. All of the adults immediately jump onto the ride and like just fall to shit after the kids who've been on there for like hours. Linda's tossing all these water bottles across the way, not getting anywhere she needs to. And then with the very last one, was it Little Timmy? Was that it? Who was always her favorite?
It's gotta be, yeah. No, is it Bethany?
No, I think it was like Little Timmy or Little Jimmy, I think.
Oh man. Okay, yeah, that checks out.
Tosses that, and then regular size Rudy is the hero. Jumps up, grabs it, and like just pitches it down.
Oh, it's wonderful. Love a good regular size Rudy moment. Love a good regular size Rudy.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely. I mean, he's one of my favorite side characters.
He is. His episodes are always good. So strong.
And his reason for being there. God, I forget why. I forget why the twins were on the ride, but I know they asked Rudy why he was there, and it was because with his parents being divorced, he needed to make himself throw up in order to get between the 2 dinners.
That's right. Yeah. Wow, what a tortured existence Rudy has. Jeez.
I forgot how many episodes are just them doing that that emotion, invoking that emotion for Rudy.
Oh
But
man.
the scene in, gosh, the episode where there's the juice truck lady that's angry with them. Just the
Hmm.
scene between Louise and the policeman in the that come to break up their bicycle party in the alley. And
God, that's
she's just conning them into believing that this is some rally for Rudy.
oh,
She's like, we could go out of the alley, officers, but he feels more comfortable here. There's less people to stare.
you can do it, little kid.
just,
We're
just
rooting
like
for you.
just like a regular kid. I am a regular kid. Yeah, you are. The whole force is pulling for you.
Had a cousin like him, you know. Oh man. Okay, that was. Oh crap! I keep meaning to bring this up, and I keep forgetting.
We'll do it.
There's a second horror scene moment in this episode, and it's not just the stuff. It's like where the framing is intentionally done to be absolutely terrifying, and it's where Bob is walking around this deserted supermarket getting his turkey because it's not too late to cook turkey. Though Bob is drunk as a fucking skunk in the store, but there's no one else.
Well,
No one in the store.
Not just the store. It's the guy. It's the classic horror movie guy, like the guy waking up in 28 Days Later type scenario. Like
Yeah.
waking up and not quite realizing the horror that you're walking through. Because he walks past several people being like attacked by birds as he's going in, and just thinks it's like some rude guy shoving him out of the way. And it's just like several scenes of him like walking down the block. We get a bunch of scenes back when he's just rocking out to Donna Summers in the apartment of the one of my favorite little scenes of characters that we never get shown again, but animal control showing to take control of the situation.
So good.
It's
Why
the,
didn't they show up with Big Mama Pudding with the Big Baby Pudding
I don't
Snatcher?
know. But it's the police are all around the gates to Wonder Wharf freaking out because it sounds like the birds are trying to get through the doors, the gates. And then animal control, three characters we've never seen before, and as far as I know, we'll never see again, roll up, and they're just like, who's in control? Animal control. Open up the gates to go in, and all immediately get overrun by a stampede of these fucking birds as it cuts back to just Donna Summers playing.
And Bob
Dances in front of a
around in his
window with
Vegas.
this horror show running behind him.
It's just the framing on this episode is so good. There's so many like how did they pick a thumbnail for this one episode? It's just so good on every single front.
Oh god, the tickle boat coming to save the day.
And the battle armor of stuffed animals.
Oh yeah, the battle armor of stuffed animals and the walk down as it's all falling apart.
And there's
Teddy
the wonderful
sacrificing
song.
himself to save the day, like whooping and hollering. Just-
I'm sorry, Pat. I don't remember that sound. What did that sound like?
Woot 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 woot.
Really? Because I thought it was more of a ah.
Remember me, Teddy. Don't tell me to. No, I'm remembering your name. It's Teddy.
So good. God, like one of my favorite Teddy moments right there.
Yeah, gosh, yeah, the tickle boat, the one that killed that guy.
You know, you'd think they would do that this year, you know, after the tickle boat killed that guy.
Yeah.
They reference it multiple times. This was a really publicized thing.
Yeah, we never found out how the tickle boat killed the guy. I bet it was poison.
You know, I'm gonna be boring, and I bet it was a Jacob's ladder.
Jesus.
Man. Yeah, man. The most that or following the Jacob's ladder, the stream of logic, it could be the world's most failed attempt at shibari. You know, could be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
These are all words that I recognize
Yes.
and I understand in this order.
Yes. That's fine. Jacob's ladder is like it's a string thing, right? Like it's one of the yo-yo string tricks. You like Or
I
maybe nothing
think
else, like Cat's Cradle or
so. I
something.
know it's also a movie.
It is. It's a horror movie, isn't it?
Yes. Isn't it also? Isn't there
It's
also some
also a.
electrical thing that's a Jacob's ladder?
Ooh. I mean, could be. Yeah.
What is a Jacob's ladder?
Oh no. Oh no, Pat. We can. That you changed the screen focus there.
Oh, did I?
You did.
Whoops.
Hey, there we are.
Okay. I I got too bold. I was trying to get new information.
Nope. This is what happens when we don't
Nope.
prepare. It's
Oh,
fine. Well, it's fine. It is also a piercing though, so that's a fun one too. Uh, yeah,
yeah.
that's what I would assume. Um,
Gosh, yes. I mean,
it's
we kind of skipped over the ending, I guess, but everything works out. They all escape from Wonder Wharf on the Tickle boat. They drop off the twins. Who's Andy is thankful you saved Ollie. Ollie's thankful you saved Andy. They run
we are
across the.
forgetting about the ultimate resolution though, where Linda headbutts her way to freedom. She reestablishes the pecking order.
Yeah,
And shows old One Eye.
She sets the new pecking order, and she's at the
Mhm.
top.
What? How did One Eye lose his eye? I mean, I assumed it was a weasel attack. A somewhat unsuccessful weasel attack.
I really hadn't given it much thought.
Oh man, One Eye wasn't born a villain, Pat.
Oh, yeah. What I couldn't tell, but I was trying to determine, rewatching these episodes, was if the abandoned store where Bob is going to purchase this turkey, if it was the same store as the previous year,
Ooh.
that the butcher worked at, or if Bob was now going to a different store.
I'm not sure.
And you couldn't really tell because the store had like the horror movie schmear over it. Everything was more grayscale or black and white and kind of shadowy looking.
I like to think about the opposite world where Bob has this revelation, and I'm just seeing a Stephen King's The Mist story playing out here between Bob and the clerk. Them just being trapped inside while the turkeys are storming, and honesty turns into passion, and passion turns into memories. An alternate universe. I'm sure there's a fanfic that's out there about that. And if there's
alternate
not,
universe, Dawn of the Peck, where Bob goes to the store, the butcher is there, and in Last Man on Earth, end of the world type scenario plays out.
I mean, I think it's pretty clearly not the last man on Earth. Maybe the last men on Earth. I don't know. Copyright.
I forget where my thoughts were before we started talking about that.
You were given the wrap up.
Yeah.
For that episode in particular. That Andy was thankful
it.
for Ollie. Ollie was thankful for Andy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they dropped off the twins first. Then everybody went upstairs, saw the letter from Bob. Regular sized Rudy stayed with because he wanted to see how this all played out. And Louise ominously told him that he was going to die before the end of this movie. So, Rudy, you won't live to see the end. But yeah, and then they go get Bob, and they all go upstairs Bob does go through it. He cooks a lovely turkey, which then nobody will eat. Nobody will eat but him, because of it's all in their nose still, and the trauma. So Linda goes to make him all spaghetti, except for Rudy, who can't have spaghetti, but he'll eat sauce. I'll just have some sauce.
Rudy, that's called tomato soup.
Yeah.
But there is a happy ending. There's a light at the end of this tunnel, and it's that Bob gets to introduce Rudy to Donna Summers. And that is the line that closes the episode out on, right? Like, Rudy goes, "Who's Donna Summers?"
It's like,
"Oh,
oh,
Rudy,
you're gonna love her.
you're gonna love her." It's so good.
Yeah.
And then the music comes back in at the end, and it's just 5 out of 5.
Once the music comes back in, I think after we get the cut to the fish owners Thanksgiving dinner, which is Felix says that he hears something outside rustling, and Calvin doesn't believe him. I think there's some bullshit over the wishbone and wanting to do that, and then I think they do the wishbone, and in through the windows come the army of birds for them for the two who wronged them the most.
Yes, you're right. Yes, that is how that went. Great episode. Just such a good episode.
Oh yeah.
Okay, which one's next?
All right. Yeah. So we then get to season 6 for our 4th Thanksgiving episode with Gail making bobsled.
All right.
What is that face doing for us? Is this a too much Gail episode?
This is a too much Gale episode. This is honestly definitely in my lower half. This might be my least favorite Thanksgiving episode.
Ooh.
You know, I mean, they're all really good, so it's
Spicy.
a high bar. But it's too much Gale. It's just too much Gale, man. It's so much Gale. And it is abjectly painful to watch the family fuck up the turkey. It is.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god! It is such a cringe episode.
Oh,
It hurts my soul. Pat, hey,
the side
audience,
dishes.
it's just candy. It's just candy. It's the worst. Hey, audience, I used to run a cooking school, and that shit hurts my soul. Oh my god. They sew the turkey with dental floss. It's gonna taste so minty. Mint goes with lamb, not turkey. And, like, I know turkey is flavorless, but that is the wrong thing.
Oh my gosh! No, the end. I know it's at the end of the episode, but the line is, "Should we not eat this?" And then they're just like, "Yeah, probably not." So this episode, before we dive too much into that, Bob's cooking dinner, snowing a whole lot outside. I forget what the kids are doing before things pick up, but they're around.
I mean, there's also the radio warning, the weather warning that comes on, telling people not to get on the road because there is that blizzard. Like, it is Chekhov's blizzard,
Yes.
so to speak.
Yes, when there's a blizzard on the mantle in the first act.
Yes.
Something profit. But yes, so it's Bob's cooking dinner. Linda tells him that he needs to go Linda's about to leave to go get Gail, who can't drive herself over because she broke her ankle or something like that. Sprained her ankle.
Yeah.
I forget. How did she do it again? I can't remember.
Oh, I don't remember.
Shoot. I'm sure it was a good
I imagine it was something related to a damn cat, though.
But so it's Gail needs to be picked up, and Bob then has to stop cooking and reminds Linda of the last time that she drove them in the snow, and we get a little cutscene that's just them spinning out on a road, all screaming. I think with the exception of Louise, who is just terrifyingly gleeful in the back seat as they're all about to die. So yes, Linda cannot be trusted on the road, so Bob has to go get Gail, who is on the floor because she fell coming out of the shower. She is essentially not at all prepared to come over, is trying to prepare a dish while they're all still there.
Salad.
A salad, yes. I said I'd bring a salad. They have to corral Mr. Business because she's bringing Mr. Business with because he's hypoglycemic. Uh, he needs
Oh,
to eat.
what happens if he doesn't eat every 2 hours?
What was it? Doesn't he gets gassy? I think is what
He
she
gets
said. He
lethargic.
gets lethargic. but
Oh.
but so and it's he's up high and she can't get him, and so Bob has to sing to get him down. And it's just, no, it's got to be jazzy.
Skibidoo da bop, skibidoo da.
Oh, see, he
And
loves it. He
I
loves.
do just love. So my big question is, did that come out before or after H. John Benjamin's jazz album?
Oh, I have no idea. When did the jazz album come out?
I feel like the jazz album came out in like 2016.
This episode premiered November 2015.
Oh, maybe it was. I feel like I listened to an NPR podcast about it. Because where else would you hear about H. John Benjamin's jazz album called I Really Should Have, parentheses, Learn to Play the Piano.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. 5 out of 5. But yeah, so it's a Scooby Doo bop, Scooby Doo Doo.
But
You gotta pat your shoulder.
Yep. It's what other bullshit tasks still needed to be accomplished at that apartment before we can get her out. Was they had to get Mr. Business in a box. They had to get a salad prepared. I know getting her dressed took a long time.
It did, because she couldn't figure out how to put a shirt on with crutches.
Yes.
And then they're gonna leave, and everything's fine. It's still snowing, but Bob's car is totally cool, and the episode ends peacefully, right?
Right. Yep. No, it's I think a plow comes exactly at that time.
Oh yeah, that's right.
If anything had gotten them out faster, they would have avoided.
Any one thing.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, no, then they're snowed in. They can't get. Gail has no kind of shovel or bowls or pots. Nothing
them
that
off
can
the salad.
No, yeah, except for the salad. And the only thing that they could use to start trying to dig the car out, I think, is her poop scoopers for the cats.
Mm-hmm.
So Bob is trying to dig his way out of the car, dig the car out of the snow with that, while he's on the phone with Linda trying to tell her that she's going to have to, like, what was it at that stage? It was just
Put the turkey in the oven at
Yes.
whatever degrees for whatever time.
it was just that she would need to baste the turkey, I think, at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And she was already freaking out at that point because nobody, as will become obvious and as they explicitly spell out in the most recent episode, Bob becomes a bit of a thankszilla, I think is what they call it on
That is
Thanksgiving.
indeed what they call it, a Thankzilla.
So yes, he does not usually let them help with the turkey.
Mm-hmm.
So Linda is, I feel like, reasonably anxious at that point.
Yeah. And
Yeah, I think I forget what is the final straw for giving up on the digging the car out. But then at some point the new plan becomes there's a kiddie pool in Gail's apartment. They blow that up and put Gail in it with Mr. Business in a box and the salad on top. And Bob is going to drag them through the snow in this blizzard back to the shop.
yeah.
And at that point tells Linda and the kids that they're going to have to prepare the entire Thanksgiving meal.
Mm-hmm. And it goes about as well as you'd expect.
Mm-hmm.
No. Slightly better, but that is a low bar. As they're walking, and Bob is making a valiant effort and pulling Gail along. Consistently, Gail saying the wrong thing at the exact wrong time, just getting more and more frustrated. And as we previously mentioned, poor Mr. Biscuits, he is hypoglycemic, so he does have to be fed. And so, as Gail is feeding him, as Gale is feeding him. What else? What else could happen? Of course, the incident that
Gail,
we've been
don't
seeing
open
the
the
whole
box so
fucking.
much. Don't open the box. No, he's fine. Ah, he got.
Uh, oh, Gale episodes drive me up the fucking wall. I hate it. I hate
Yes.
it so much.
So now Bob is pulling Gail and the empty box and the salad, chasing Mr. Business through the snowstorm until I think Bob's body gives out on him at some point. He falls into the snow. Um, I think he and Gail start cuddling for warmth. Um, and then eventually they have like a nice meaningful moment where Gail's just like recognizes how nice he's being and putting up with all of her specific bullshit today. And like it acknowledges that she knows that she's a lot, which is at least one thing on her part. I don't know. Whatever. But they have a nice little moment. And then something draws her attention about Mr. Business again. I forget what. And she stands up and starts running away.
Okay, so I think maybe we've got something mixed up because I remember it as when they were, and I could be totally wrong here because I've been wrong several times already tonight. Um, where Bob is looking for Mr. Biscuits and finds him in a tree and scats, and Mr. Biscuits won't come down. Instead, he goes higher in the tree. So Bob climbs the tree to get Mr. Biscuits, does get Mr. Biscuits, and as he's going down, Mr. Biscuits loses his shit
Yes.
and
Well,
scratches Bob to pieces,
it's
and Bob falls and lands on his fucking back.
yes.
And that's when he sees Gale standing above him, like nothing is fucking wrong whatsoever.
Well, so it's they had the cuddle conversation. Then she ran off. Bob lost her, found Mr. Business in the tree, climbed up. As he got up there and got Mr. Business, Gail showed up, and she's like, "Oh, Bob, you're up so high," kind of thing.
Oh, you're right, and that's what makes Mr. Biscuits freak out.
well,
God
it's-
damn it!
Bob gets distracted, and then he starts
Yeah.
sneezing because he's allergic to fucking cats.
That's right.
Sneezes, Mr. Business claws the shit out of him, and then also lands on top of him.
Yeah.
And then Gail gets Bob into the pool with Mr. Business. And
But
then
she
she
did eat the
valiantly
salad.
pulls everybody the rest of the way. Oh,
And-
and it's I forgot the other Gale fact this episode is that she twisted her ankle having to do something with Mr. Frond dumping her at the same time.
Yes, it was
She's-
Mr. Fraun. Yeah.
That's why she's going to be having Thanksgiving with them this year. Is because Mr. Frond just dumped her, and she's got a bum ankle now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so she pulls them all the rest of the way, and then they all get up for the dinner that the family has just made a shit show of.
And yeah, like you said earlier, they just kind of ultimately decide like we shouldn't eat this. This is
Yeah.
poisonous.
Tina's like, "Look who found a plate of microwave egg rolls." And then it's what was actually then one of my favorite Gale moments of the episode was them asking what happened with her and Mr. Fran breaking up, and her saying like, "Oh, he gave me the oldest breakup line in the book. He's gonna go see he's gonna have to go fuck Pat. He's gonna have Thanksgiving with his aunt." Like, I would believe that. No one has Thanksgiving with their aunt.
It's
and then
the
all the kids
oldest
are
line
like,
in the book.
the kids are just like, Aunt Gail, you know you're our aunt, right? And her realizing that Mr. Fran never broke up with her at all. Which was the whole reason she faked her fucking ankle injury in the first place.
You know, because she does that when
Yeah,
she's
does.
happy or when she's
When she's
sad
sad,
or
when
when
she
she
needs
just wants
attention.
attention. Just fakes a sprained ankle all the time. Very normal thing. But there's also the toast. The toast at the very end before they decide that the food is poisoned. um, Bob goes, I just want to, Gail, I want to here's to you. Uh, we really save Thanksgiving. And she goes, yeah, but no, Bob, we save Thanksgiving. It's like, but that's what I just said. It's a good little Gale moment.
And I was
Oh,
trying to keep track at that point of I don't think I don't think he ever got to successfully make a toast at any of these
no.
because it's the first season he came in drunk on absinthe and could not finish his toast.
Yes.
And I
We
think
do get a flashback,
yeah.
don't
Yeah.
we? Or does he just say that it was here's the turkey? Did we actually get a flashback for that?
I
I
don't know
don't
if we did,
remember.
but essentially I just noticed that every time he tries to give one in the following episode, somebody always like interjects and
Always.
interrupts. It's just like,
Hmm.
nope, here's to Linda, like Queen of the Turkeys or something like this instead. And then also, I was trying to think of like how many times do they actually get to successfully eat a turkey, and it's
Ooh,
not very much because it's the first episode. They eat Lance, but they're having to pick out the shrapnel.
yes.
um, they
And
don't
then I
have
think the next one
they don't have
they
any
do is.
turkeys left that aren't toilet turkeys in that episode.
Hmm.
Um, Dawn of the Pack, there is a successfully prepared turkey, but no one but Bob wants to eat it. And then we have this turkey, which is there and maybe cooked a lot, maybe in places,
I
and
mean,
held together with floss.
it's this is just such a cringe episode. It is too cringe for me, unfortunately. It is it is painful. I hate seeing things that people care about be destroyed and be it hurts. It is it's a good episode. It's a good show. This is a good episode any other time. But man, it just
Well, I think it was. I think it was nice in. I think showing just how much Bob can roll with it in certain situations, in how controlled he was in his reactions to everything. Like
yeah.
there was the whole spectacle of a day that he spent with Gail, and then getting back to the meal, which again recurring theme. Everyone knows he'll go apeshit over.
Hmm.
To the point of threatening to cancel Thanksgiving and like throwing people out of the kitchen and shit. Um,
Yeah.
and then he was just cool with it this episode.
Well, we don't know that for sure because it did cut off after the point where they found egg rolls. So Bob could have lost his shit after that. We don't know the terrible situation that occurred as Bob had his holiest of day made a joke of his fucking frozen spring rolls. Also, I'm
and
just
the,
gonna point this out: a pack of spring rolls, a frozen pack of spring rolls, not gonna feed that many people.
no, and the fucking salad. That's like, what dressing is this? Oh, there's no dressing. Something must have dripped in it.
Uh, oh, Kale.
Anything else? Anything else anyone would like us to touch on in this episode? Or we? I'm thinking Zan would like us to move off of
Oh
this.
god, this is as painful as your eyeball conversation.
Well, I'm sure nothing. I'm sure there will be no cringe moments in the next one, the Quirk Deucers.
No, okay. This is fucking top tier. This episode
I mean, I love
is
this.
so good. I think this episode might be the first time that they give Zeke a little bit of character development,
Mhm.
or like one of the first times, because you really,
I feel like you get Zeke character moments like very just sprinkled in. I feel like into other episodes, like the
Mhm.
end of got the pooper the pooper episode.
Yeah, the masked pooper or
Yeah,
the
when
butler.
yes, when Zeke's just like, and then I was doing it for you, Tina. You just
Well,
get these.
accident on purpose, accident.
Then after that, I was doing it for you, girl.
And then Tammy didn't get pooped on.
That is when we do our favorite, when we do an episode that's like our favorites or best like character episodes, that will be one that I will go on for sure.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, 100%.
I think that's also the first episode we get to meet Mr. Bronca in. Tina, have I ever told you you're my best friend?
Is that the first episode we see Mr. Braga?
I
Oh
think
wow.
so.
I mean, he's great. He's
Oh,
so
yeah.
good. Everything he says is.
I
Wait,
used to
is
be
this before or
president.
after the Masked Pooper? Because I know he's present in the Masked Pooper.
Wait, what?
Is he? Because is this before or after the Masked Pooper?
I'm talking about the Masked Pooper episode.
Oh, okay, that's the first time. Okay,
And
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
I'm
was
pretty
like,
sure that's the first episode that he's in.
yeah, that would make sense. Uh,
So yes, the Quirkducers. That
yes.
was how we got onto that.
Yeah, that is true.
Was we started talking about Zeke moments.
Mm-hmm. But what is this episode, Pat?
Oh damn! I was about to ask you that.
Oh man. Well, you know what? I've been quiet for a while. I can take this one. So this is, as I said, gold, and it starts with Tina's writing being exposed to everyone in her family yet again, because somebody used a certain Q word on her, which was quirky. They said, "Oh, she's so quirky with her thick glasses and her beret. She's just don't even worry about it. You're so quirky." And we do see a little bit of Tina's like insecurities. I know we see like her frightened reaction to a lot of stuff very frequently, but like we get to see, like we later get to see with Jean in the episode where they go to buy a new hood for the fan for the stove rather. Griddle? I mean it's a teppan, but that's not a great English word. It's like where we see Jean like being afraid of being alone. And it's I like when we get to see what a character's internalized like vulnerabilities are. And Tina is very self-aware that she is, in her terms, not conventionally attractive, and it is okay. All right, man, I'm bad at chronology. So the meat and bones to this, so to speak, are that Tina has her feelings hurt that she's been called quirky, and so is writing a story called the Quirky Turkey, where she reclaims the title, and soon it is revealed that this year, the day before Thanksgiving, is going to be a full day. It's normally going to be a half day, but this year is going to be an exception because they're going to have to go to an assembly, and it's going to be all day, and it's going to stink. So,
well, and it is supposed to be a half day every year.
It's supposed to be a half
but
day.
But it's Mr. Frond every year does a production that lasts for the entirety of a full day of school anyway.
That's right, yes. And so they decide to get to claim their half day, and they being Louise and Jean convince Mr. Frond to do a Thanksgiving play and let the students direct it, and he gets a lukewarm reaction from the principal, which he takes as a yes. And we wonder why later on they attempt to fire Mr. Frond. It's through this that they then convince Tina that Tina has to be the one to put on this play. And they hold auditions. It's wonderful, and they intentionally cast the worst people. They cast Andy and Ollie. They didn't cast Andy and Ollie, did they? No, they cast Zeke and Tammy and Jocelyn, and Jeju. And there is a beautiful moment that we get where someone is singing Ave Maria, and it is beautiful. And Louise just, thanks, don't call us, we'll call you. Yeah. Next.
And had said nothing but 100% positive things to literally everybody else, including Zeke, who just walked on stage and had no idea what was going on.
Other people are over here. It just looked like a fun thing to do. And Tina wants to cast this person with a great voice as the lead, and Louise drops the bombshell. Tina's gonna have to do it. She's the only one that can. She knows every single word by heart. And it's interesting that as they're preparing for this show and Teddy's helping them out with some weird air cannon stuff that won't come back. And they go to the butcher and we see them buying something. We don't know what. But I did just realize that they didn't go to Bob's former fling. They didn't go to that butcher.
Well, I think Louise made it sound like she had to go to quite a few. People don't want to sell this to an 8-year-old girl.
That's true. Yes, that's it. And as because nobody wants to sell it, so they start choreographing this play, and it's slightly grim, in that nihilistic way that middle school productions can be. And it was, what am I missing between, what is the beeline in this?
Well, I think at that point it's the day before the production's supposed to go, and Tina overhears Jean and Louise talking about the plan of how everything is going to get sabotaged, how at the end of the first act these turkey heads that they've produced are going to explode giblets everywhere, so that Mr. Frond has to cancel the production and everyone gets sent home early. Mm-hmm. And Tina overhears that and is obviously not happy because she was actually, putting a lot of meaningful emotions into this production for herself. Mm-hmm. And then everybody in the play comes around, Tina's crew of sort of friends, and they're all 100% on board for, nope, let's just get out of school, let's do that thing. Mm-hmm. And then the B plot was Grandpa Potato.
That's right, there was Grandpa Potato.
Or no, Uncle
Potato. What a weird B plot.
Was it Uncle Potato or Grandpa? It was Grandpa Potato.
It was Grandpa Potato, yeah, because he died before the kids were born. Yeah. It does bear a striking resemblance. Yeah. But it's such a weird and random B plot.
Yeah.
Also, kudos to Bob for cutting his own potatoes. Like, I've worked at a bunch of fast food, of a service industry stuff, and I one of them cut their own fucking fries. Just one. And it's dedication you don't normally see, and I have to wonder where Bob's fry press is, because I haven't seen it in the kitchen and I haven't seen it in the basement, so I don't know. It's got to be. I don't know how Bob would cut the fries otherwise, but that's not important. What's important is that he doesn't cut this potato into French fries. This potato looks like Grandpa.
Because Linda doesn't trust him, because there was a prior incident where he threw away a piece of toast that looked like it said "Wow."
Oh, it was a dark day.
Yeah. But yeah, they take Grandpa Potato to the production to watch. Linda doesn't, because Bob asks her not to, and then Bob brings him with, regretting asking her not to bring him, so that he can watch his grandkids in his potato form. Linda holds him up, blocking somebody else completely behind her, and being like, "Oh, am I blocking you?" And just like, "Oh no, thanks, you're a doll." Not moving at all.
Oh, Linda.
Yeah, and then what happens?
Oh, well,
how does the plan go off?
There's some great songs. I gotta say that amongst the more musical episodes, this is one of my favorite songs. Both here really and at the end. It's great. And these people all look starving. They're ready for the carving, I believe is one of them. And so they're building up to this, and the whole premise of the play is that these conventionally attractive turkeys are, ready to go to dinner. Mm-hmm. and they're so happy that they're not going to dinner,
rubbing it
which
in the
the
face of the Quirky
of the
Turkey,
Quirky
who
Turkey,
is
who
not
is not
invited
going
to
to.
this to be special guests at this human dinner.
Yeah,
Why do
and
the humans want to eat with turkeys this year? I wouldn't look. I wouldn't read into it.
there's one person who is not a turkey, who is a ham. I mean, a pig who's going to become a ham, who's Jeju, of course, and it's it's just great. So they're building up to this, and there's all of these wonderful little like bits in this thing, and then the turkeys get their head cut off, and I
Oh
know what you're
no,
thinking.
they're chopping off our heads.
And it's perfectly out of tune. And speaking of screenplays and tragic passings, the this is very Sweeney Todd esque. If you have seen the stage production of that, it is vivid, not just because of special effects, the ribbons and things. No, there's giblets inside the heads, and Louise bought this at least a day ago.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all have ever had giblets before, but they go bad quick. And it's in people's mouths,
Yes.
and the cast wasn't entirely sure of the extent that this is going to take place,
None of them
and
thought it through.
Louise is freaking out. She's like,
Yes.
oh no,
She's
this
just
is
like, wait,
worse than I
is this
thought.
going to traumatize people? It's like, yes. What the fuck did you think you were doing?
And see, because like I don't know how to feel. Oh, gonna barf. No, I'm not. Yo, gonna barf. It's a scene from hell,
Yes.
and this is
my God.
it is. I mean, it's cringe, but it's great. It's very, very cringe, and it is. We see that this is going to be the first of two times that Tina takes control of a show, despite being fairly reluctant. Because later on, we'll have this with uh, Mona Nucleosis, Mona with mono, where she changes the song at the end.
Yeah.
I believe that's after this, but I'm not sure. And she, like, the play is about to be shut down. Like,
Yeah.
Frond is going to the stage, and
Horrified people are trying to shuffle out of the theater.
it's a fairly graphic scene. Like, honestly, like, I would say this is, at this point in the show, the only one that rivals this particular scene is the Christmas episode where everything is bad. The where it's, I believe it's the first Christmas episode where there's the mannequin.
Yeah. Oh, the
Who-
murder mannequin.
Yeah,
display.
the murder mannequin. Yeah, who just had his heart ripped out.
Mhm.
It's rough. I think that those are probably the only two at this point.
Spoilers for next episode.
Yeah, right. I've got some. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna. Thanks. Christmas is gonna be an interesting episode. So. Yeah.
It's. I mean, I think
Go
we were.
ahead.
I think we were at the point where it's somehow Tina finds resonates with the right emotional beat to reclaim this moment from scarring an entire auditorium of school children, and figures out how to what she needed to know to finish the song.
Mhm.
And it's, oh my gosh,
You got to be yourself.
yes. Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting the lyrics, but essentially do you have the guts to be yourself? And then just starts picking
Yeah.
up guts and flinging it at members of the audience. It's like, you've got the guts, and you've got the guts, and making it a positive experience.
Her voice almost sounds auto-tuned for a second there. It's really good, and she holds the song down. She says, "I've got the guts, I've got the glory," or "I want the glory," or something like that. Something that I'm going to tell my story, or something. It's just such a strong song, and this is, it's a continuation, but it's kind of a second song of the episode, and it's really good.
Yeah.
They're both so strong in this. And yeah, Tina saves the show. I mean, it's still traumatizing, and some people are probably going to get food poisoning, and there's going to be lawsuits.
I'm just
Um,
I'm remembering random lyrics now, and it's like no,
these are decapitated hotties.
yeah, it was
These
those birds
turkeys
with perfect bodies are not
bodies are,
decapitated hotties.
yeah. um, but then it takes guts to be yourself. Ah, yeah, and they, uh, she saves the show.
Yeah,
Is there an ending scene after that, or does it just cut into the way better version of the song for the
I
end?
don't know. I know. I think it ends with Gene and Louise, concluding that like they're gonna have to stay and clean this all up anyway, so they were never gonna
Mhm.
get out early. I think
Yeah,
that's kind of where it ends.
that sounds right. That sounds
Yeah, because the B plot concluded just with Bob bringing the potato. Like
right.
that's
Yeah, because
yeah.
we never got to see the end of Grandpa Potato. This
So
is the first of two times that Linda Bonds, I guess the second of three times that Linda bonds really heavily with an object, and I've got thoughts on that.
well, I feel it's something that's shared by the family then, right? Because we were just talking earlier about Bob doing that with food and kitchen utensils. Oh my gosh, the
Yeah,
episode in not this most recent season, or not the current season, but the most recent one before that, where he's working out of the fancy kitchen at the Fish Odors Jazz Club briefly,
hmm
and all of the shiny new equipment have fancy accents and talk back to him.
they're not very nice. Um, yeah, yeah, I think you're right. I don't. I mean, I guess Tina does that as well in the "See Me Now" episode, where she has the eraser that is the cell phone. Uh, And Louise does have her bunny ears, though she doesn't really vocalize it like they do. It's
Kichi Kopi.
yes. I mean, but that it's hard to distinguish that and just imagination.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Oh god,
that's the
oh
conclusion of that
god,
one, right?
I just remembered Bob's toys, Bob's childhood
Oh,
toys.
oh yeah,
When we were
that's
talking
really
about
depressing.
imagination.
Oh man, I had a bad childhood. Yeah, people with good childhoods don't look like that. They don't stand like that.
All your sad stories.
Get back to work, Bob.
God.
Oh no,
I feel like we're gonna have to
no.
talk. I feel like next episode, because there's a Christmas episode with Bob's dad, we're gonna have to talk more
Mhm.
about that episode too.
Yeah, we are. Oh man, Bob and his dad episodes are rough. Also, it bothers the shit out of me that I believe Bob's dad and Bob's friend that owns or owned one of the restaurants have the same voice actor. It drives me nuts. They do that with this and with Bob's dad's customer and the radio DJ.
Yes, yes, I know
They
we've talked about that before.
with duplicate. Oh man, when they
It's.
show up, it confuses the shit out of me.
I think I'm not positive, but I think that the farmer that has the two-butted goat might also be the guy that does the voice of Gus.
Yeah, I think 100%. I didn't think about that, but yeah, yep, definitely. It. mm,
Yeah, I don't know that I have anything else to say about this episode. I like it. It's in my top few, I think. It's a nice Tina episode.
It's a very good Tina episode. I love episodes where Tina stands strong.
Hmm.
It's very good.
And then I think too, like with like actually seeing her get some recognition from people for that, because it's her
Mhm.
crew of her crew of shitty friends. I don't like Tina's friends for the most part. I think we got into this a little bit last time, but I think they're just at least 75% of them are just shitty people. I feel like
Yeah, I mean,
I know.
Zeke is the only fucking decent
Yep,
one.
that was the one that I was. Yep, on the same page there. Jocelyn is benign, maybe.
Jocelyn is guilty by association, unfortunately.
Yeah. Which we didn't touch on. One of my favorite Jocelyn and Tammy moments was in this episode, as they were practicing their harmonies.
Harmonizing.
It's just like, Jocelyn, don't you know what a harmony is? And so when I sing louder than you, it's just like, Jocelyn, no! Just like
Great.
the outrage in Tammy's face, like, no!
Oh, it's so good. Okay. But yeah, that is... I think... That is...
Closing thoughts on that one?
Man, it's just such a good episode. It's like, that's a bad day episode. That's a, like, man, I need something that's going to warm my soul a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's the one. It's a good one. It's just great. I any time of year, it's an appropriate episode.
Cool. Well, that is the halfway point of the episodes. Should we take a quick break?
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Let
a
everybody stretch.
little smoke break.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and stretch. Yeah,
And
I mean,
hydrate.
That's part of a
And all
bio
of-
break. Right?
Everybody do those things.
Yeah.
And we will be right back. Hi, we're back. It's us again. You thought you were rid of us, but you were only halfway right.
Aha! Don't worry. We as the night goes on, we get progressively more stoned. You know, the concept, the conversation will find its way to places of fun.
Not like the rest of that shit from earlier.
No.
When you get to the VOD, just skip to right here.
Right here, this
which
is
you won't hear till you got here, so you just
forward.
wasted your time.
It's where, don't worry, we're about to get a full. Yeah. So what is this episode, Pat?
This is Thanks Hoarding. This is season 8, episode 5.
And this is going to be a fucking heavy Teddy episode.
It's a Teddy episode. Yes, it is a Teddy. It is a heavy Teddy episode.
Yeah, and so the premise of it is that Teddy freaks the fuck out because his family is coming to visit.
That is so many Teddy episodes, though. If you just cut off that part, Teddy freaks the fuck out because that's every Teddy episode.
Yeah, just about. Oh man.
Sorry.
Yeah. No. That's a super valid point. Every time Teddy freaks out, I think in everything except driving Big Dummy. I don't think he freaks out in driving Big Dummy. I think he just quietly breaks. It does make me very sad. But in this one, he finds out that his mom and his sister, I think, are coming, and
the mom
he has
sister's husband, and mom's slightly age inappropriate boyfriend.
That's right. Oh man, how old do you think? You think it's like Teddy's age?
I need to go back and track like episodes where Teddy mentions his mom, because there's another one we see. I want to say it might be one that we'll talk about later, where the gas is out, where Bob calls Teddy. No, that one, his place is being fumigated. Some other random episode, Bob calls Teddy. Teddy can't help with something because he's on a singles cruise with his mom. And she's in the room, and there's a sock on the drawer, and Teddy is trying to have this conversation with Bob. Bob, I don't think my mom respects herself. And Bob is just trying to get off the phone. It's like, okay, thanks, Teddy, bye.
I mean, and there's also, don't forget the Stuntman episode. Oh. But this Teddy episode,
yes.
his family's coming to visit. He's losing his shit.
Yes. He's never had to host Thanksgiving before.
Never. And Teddy does have a penchant for fucking things up.
Say what?
I know, right?
The handyman.
Oh, actually, the handyman's handyman. If we're gonna be technical about it. He's worried because he has to put on this perfect Thanksgiving, and he's never done it before, and his house is a mess, and so Bob comes over to help him prepare, brings all of the stuff that's mostly ready, and is preparing his turkey at home, and it'll be, his stuff is going to be fine, and Bob starts working his magic in the kitchen, and
in what becomes a common theme throughout a few of these Thanksgiving episodes, Bob starts trying to show someone how to do something in the kitchen, and then instead is just like, no, I got it. You just go do something else.
Thank Zilla, if ever there was one, right? I'm so happy they introduced that term in this episode, this most recent episode. I think it's a very good term.
And then we get another common Linda episode thing, where not so much in the Thanksgiving episodes, but in other episodes where she, though good intentioned, overreaches with what she's trying to do for people.
Yeah.
Where she and the children, in trying to set up the apartment to host the dinner, discover Teddy, go into the room that Teddy explicitly asked them not to go into, and they said, okay, we won't, and discover that he's a hoarder, and start clearing out his entire room, and forcing him.
They find a dining table.
Yes.
Beautiful dining group table.
Mm-hmm. I think it has one stain on it.
Right. And they're Teddy is obviously very against this. He freaks he loses his fucking mind again. Um, and
Yeah, this is not what Teddy needed right now.
no, no, poor Teddy. He is just kind of just he's this close to disassociating at this point. He's almost broken. And they Teddy is persuaded to let them like organize things into this pile loves me, this pile doesn't, this pile kind of likes me as a friend, but it's never really going to get past that point. And they start throwing everything away.
This pile hates him. Hates him.
Hates him, that's right.
This pile loves me. It's coming home with me.
I forgot about that one, yes. That's the best pile. Because, I mean, Linda hoards baby teeth, and that's its own thing.
Oh my god, yes.
That's a rough episode. But, you know, Bob is just completely taking care of everything in the kitchen, and do they come back the next day?
I was trying to figure that out just now.
Yeah, I think they so they do all the clearing out, and Bob leaves all the stuff there, like pre-made, just ready to put in the oven and everything.
With sticky notes on them with those instructions, and with photos that Teddy insisted on taking of Bob posing with the dishes.
Oh god, Teddy. Yeah, and he calls him freaking out yet again. That is the theme of this episode. And he, I think that they like show his screen and like something is smoking or something on fire.
The green beans are on fire, or they're already burnt. He's also visibly like bleeding and has like a black eye.
It's a lot. It's a bad situation. But then Bob goes and, Bob is like, all right, fine, whatever. Yes. I don't have time for mine.
Well, because they finished their meal and Bob was upset that it was a good meal, but it wasn't what he wanted it to be.
It wasn't spatchcocked.
Yes, it was. Yeah. And so then, with Teddy calling, Louise correctly figures out that Bob's immediate instinct is going to be to go and try and reclaim that Thanksgiving meal and make that the perfect meal, which is what they go and try to do.
And they, that's it, yeah. And what else is there? There's something else that happens before they're able to get there. I don't entirely remember what. But anyway, they get there again, and Teddy has refilled his room. He has reclaimed his stuff, right? I'm making that up. I thought he reclaimed some of his stuff from the dumpster, and they had to have a talk with him. And then he revealed like his emotional stuff, and he was like, "I'm the handyman. I can fix things. I can fix my marriage. I can."
What happened? I know that was when they were back down at the dumpster. Because at some point they got there, Bob went to fix everything in the kitchen. I think he called Linda in to help him, while Teddy had been out with Linda and the kids. And then I think Linda starts drinking. Is this? I can't remember. I'm getting things mixed up now because I know Linda went and took wine when Bob was spatchcocking the turkey, but I thought that would have been done by now. I usually just picture Linda going in there and getting wine. And
I mean, Linda does drink a lot of wine. She only drinks half of 4 bottles.
Yeah, but so Linda leaves the room. They come back, find that Teddy's gone, and the kids didn't pay attention to where he went. Then they find him in the dumpster, going through and essentially this isn't junk. Why is all my stuff out here? Kind of thing. And then yes, he has that big emotional breakdown of how he needs to fix everything.
And then there is the best news that the flight has been delayed.
I thought it was going to be that they found the other half of the waffle maker.
I wish they found the other half of the waffle maker. That's honestly the biggest news thread. Oh, they did?
They did, yeah. They found the other half of the waffle maker in there. I thought. Am I imagining that?
Well, Pat, one of us is imagining things.
I think it's much. I want to live in the world where they found it, and that is
Okay,
the. I will
let's
continue
let's
doing
have that
that.
world of hope then. I like that closure. Because
It's because as
um,
the song that they have then in the credits goes, his parents are the two halves of the waffle maker that makes Teddy the waffle.
that is right. Yeah, and yeah, they're delayed, and then all the fucking pressure is off
Mm-hmm.
because it's not gonna be. It doesn't have to be the perfect Thanksgiving. It's not Thanksgiving anymore. Um, and then don't they have? They have. So this is going to be one of the other episodes that they actually have a Thanksgiving meal.
Yeah, yeah. So they help Teddy take a bunch of his stuff back upstairs. Teddy
Mhm.
winds up actually with I think with more or new stuff because you see him. Bob's just like, "Is that rebar?" He's just like, "Yeah, it's just good rebar. You just gotta get the concrete off." Yeah, and it's they. Bob prepares the second Thanksgiving meal that they eat that day, and it's everybody goes nuts because it was as good as Bob promised it would be.
Yeah, gotta love a good spatchcock turkey. So I think this episode had really good pacing. I was a big fan of that. You know, uh, I think this was the right amount of Teddy. I think a little bit more Teddy would have been too much, but this really let him shine. And like I mentioned, I like seeing the soft spot in him, and it was good. And I'm a sucker for when they have a good Thanksgiving meal. I think it's probably not in my top three, but I like it. I have warm feelings about it.
Yeah, I think it's definitely in my top half too, because it's there are 10 exactly, I believe. So this would definitely be in my top five.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I like it. It gets some of the episodes where Linda just gets very into people's business can grate on me, and I thought that this
Hmm.
episode kind of was starting to hit that, but didn't go, but then stopped. Essentially,
Yeah,
not enough to make me dislike it. Is kind of what I'm saying. Like
yeah,
it was
yeah.
there, like almost like a little like grain of sand, but
Hmm.
otherwise, no. I very much liked it. I liked all the Teddy shit. I like how Teddy managed to fuck it up still with the. It was so. I'm an awful cook, and I imagine I would have been able to do that.
Oh man,
Like, just the shit. How I don't know how shit went so wrong to the image of what we saw.
it's I,
Like
I mean
there
my
were major
entire
mistakes.
my entire Thanksgiving this year came from like frozen shit that like my job made and then sold off for like pick up on the day before Thanksgiving. It was just like frozen macaroni and cheese, frozen mashed potatoes, and it was just put them in the oven for 20 minutes. And I can't imagine that Bob's instructions were any more complicated than that.
No,
Did he like wrap them in parchment paper or something? I
the
just I can't.
ingredients were just they were just on a flame.
I just I don't understand. It makes no sense. But the next episode, or
Mm-hmm.
was there anything else that you wanted to hit
No,
on that one?
no, no. Please keep
So
transitioning.
yeah, no. So the next episode we go over to I Bob Your Pardon, and I don't know. For me, this episode fades into the background. Like it's heartwarming, but it's not like enough to really. The heartwarming moments of it aren't really overridden by, or aren't enough to overpower the kind of meh of some of the rest of it. Do you wanna give us a brief synopsis of
Yeah,
it?
I think leading off, I think I'm very much on the same page there. We're just it's I like it. I like it on rewatches. It's just not it's not one that I seek out to come back to. It doesn't have like that rewatch to me.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
100%.
but yeah, it's this one. Uh, the Belchers. Linda, I forget how she tells the kids that they have to do this as part of like their civic duty or something. but they have to spend the day before Thanksgiving going to watch the turkey pardoning at City Hall because the mayor's going to be there. And Linda has a long-standing obsession with the mayor.
We're gonna get to that in the Christmas episode too.
Because of his suits or something like that. She said this episode. Like Bob asked her to try and like rationalize it, and it just was not there. So they all get dragged there. The kids are bored as hell. And go to stare at the broken fountain in the middle of the park. And while everybody else waits, I think it's an hour past when the event was supposed to happen. And then the assistant comes out to introduce the deputy mayor because the mayor is sick or can't be there. And then the deputy mayor says that it's because he's like on the toilet with diarrhea.
Yeah.
Yes, Linda does not appreciate the deputy mayor razzing the mayor. And takes that personally.
He's a sleazeball.
Yeah. Decides to destroy this man's life.
And she kind of does, right?
But yeah, so it's the deputy mayor says that the turkey's going off to live on some reserve, and then the kids overhear the assistant on the phone with her mom, essentially complaining about her job and how the deputy mayor didn't put anything together and there's nowhere for the bird to go, and he told her to go take it to the slaughterhouse.
And this is really how she saw her political career going.
Yeah, saying this very loudly on the phone next to the broken fountain in the middle of the park.
And then the kids know.
Yep. So the kids know. They rope in Linda because this could taint the mayor's legacy, and you can't taint my mayor. And the kids try to rope in this reporter who doesn't care about it, but then sees that the family is going after it, and sees that the deputy mayor won't answer any questions about it. About like, oh, photo op? No one can go there ever. Also, goodbye. And so then it's a race where they wind up intercepting Droop E Neck, the turkey.
God, that is its name, isn't it? Droop E Neck. It's just, that's a painful phrase to hear. Like, I love puns. Puns are my bread and butter. If y'all have watched us on other channels, you know that Patrick and I routinely get into pun offs. And that one hurts my soul.
Yeah. But okay, so that's the gas station stop where Bob has to make the family promise him that while he goes inside to look for fucking cranberries. I forgot about the cranberries being the B plot of this episode.
Yes.
That they won't break into this woman's car to steal the turkey. Goes inside, again hears the woman on the phone to her mom very loudly talking about this.
Yeah, because Bob is doubting them up to this point.
Yes.
He's just kind of indulging them.
Yep, exactly. He's just kind of like, I don't give a shit. Just let me get the cranberries and then do whatever the fuck you want. Let's go home.
And when he leaves the convenience store, does he see anything?
He sees them breaking into the fucking car.
Oh no! I thought that was the one thing he asked him not to do.
That is, but they were going in through the air roof, and they were saying that doesn't count, and they were they were claiming technicalities.
They didn't break in.
No. So they've got the turkey in their car now. Then like random person throws themselves in front of their car for not the last time in this fucking episode.
Well, I mean, they got snubbed by the deputy mayor in the press conference, right?
The report. So this reporter, didn't. It was It was
he overheard something. He was present in the episode earlier, and he had his little notepad. And was like,
So it was there was another reporter that was like, oh, so will there be a photo op at the turkey sanctuary or whatever? And he was just like, oh, that's a stupid question. That's a dumb question. And the deputy mayor was just kind of like, no, there won't be. And also, no more questions. I have to leave now. And that's when he got suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember if there was more to their interactions or not.
No, I think that was probably it. But
that was our introduction to this guy.
But yes, he threw himself in front. He threw himself in front of their moving car to surprise them, I guess, and come along for the ride for the story. And has the deputy mayor's aide on tape recorded, essentially spilling out the details.
And then the car chase.
Yes, there's a fucking car chase, which also goes on the list of episodes where they should have died. They almost go like headfirst into the fucking rails at that point. Then he's like swerving them off the road to the point that like they're skating onto the metal. The sparks are flying.
This scene could have been the soundtrack to the scene. Could have been Tenacious D's Car Chase City. That would have been the soundtrack, and it is. I mean, it's fucking intense. Yeah. How does it end? They fiery crash?
No, unfortunately, no. That was not the end of the show.
No, there's no continuity. It's fine.
There is so much continuity. Bob's tattoo
only
will never
in the
go
fucking
away.
Bob's tattoo and the ice cream machine, and that's the only things I'll give you.
Oh, no, it's that's the thing about this episode is I feel like there's a bunch more that they do, but like nothing happens.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
they go and they drop it off in the woods, and then they release it, and then they hear coyotes, and then they're just like, well, shit, this isn't as good a story anymore.
But Louise defends it.
Yeah, Bob is just like, okay, essentially. Bob is not going to like take him and his children and to go save this fucking turkey. Tina's not about it either, and then Louise just dives into the middle of this fucking group and starts, much like Teddy did with the geese a few seasons earlier, whooping and hollering and getting the coyotes to go away. Yeah, then the turkey came back, I guess. Then they go to try and take it to the farm with the two-butted goat. And the deputy mayor is there to stop them, I guess. And it was weird, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what the plan was. He was just kind of like, oh, the farmer's not here right now. I guess that means the turkey has to die.
Yeah.
It's like, he'll be back in like 5 minutes, bro.
And he does threaten the press.
Yes, he does. He threatens to kill the story.
You're forgetting that I'm the deputy mayor. If I say to kill a story, they say how high.
Yeah.
So good.
I forgot some of my favorite parts of the episode where Linda convinced that every sudden reveal of a person was about to be them killing them. Whenever Bob's just like, why don't we just stop and talk to her? It's just like, oh yeah, Bob, great plan. Stop and talk to her. Oh yeah, I'm putting on my black glove and just strangling you.
I don't know. This episode to me feels a lot like Life's a Beach or Son of a Beach or whatever one of the new episodes this season was.
Oh yeah, where they were cleaning up the beach.
Yeah, I feel like it's like that. It's like, ultimately like not bad, but ultimately forgettable.
Yeah. And Bob at the end, just like overjoyed in the cranberry bog.
Oh, I do love that scene. Have you noticed that is the thumbnail that Hulu uses for that episode? It's like, I mean, it's a great shot, but it has nothing to do with the rest of the episode.
It's just a throwaway at the end. It has nothing to do with anything.
I mean, I would love to see Bob going to a cranberry bog. I would watch that episode.
Yeah.
I'm sure the B plot would be like Tina convinced that one of the frogs would be a prince or something, or Louise convincing Tina that one of the frogs would be a prince and would find frogs in the swamp. It'd be a great episode, but no, they don't give that to us. I mean, was there anything else?
No, I got nothing on this one.
Yeah, it's just, you know.
I mean, I think it's also none of the side characters except for the farmer are anybody that we've seen before or since. So it's not any side characters that we had a lot of emotional attachment with. I did like the aide's mom getting on the phone and screaming at the mayor's aide.
Well, hey, there's no need for that kind of language. Oh,
I will not go to hell. I will go to heaven.
I am a good person. He's got some good lines. Like, he's an absolute nightmare. But he's got some good lines. I'll give him that.
Yeah, so that was I Bob Your Pardon.
Yes.
Next we've got another one that tiptoes across that awkward, cringe, funny line with now we're not cooking with gas.
Yeah.
So
no.
Where we really see Bob's obsession coming out.
Ah, man. Like, we see Bob's obsession, and we also see like it's painful to watch life shit on Bob like that hard, that much.
Yes. Oh my god.
It's just difficult.
Every time, too. It's
this and the cucumbers, or this in the garden. This
yes.
No, not my babies. No, I love it.
I was gonna talk about the garden episode when we got to the final episode, like this season's episode. But really,
okay.
To me, those reminded me of each other.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We'll get to that.
Yeah. That's still 2 episodes away.
Mm-hmm. But yes, this episode, the whole story is about Bob got a very, very special turkey this year that he's been on the wait list for several years.
It's a Heritage Farm.
Riverbrook Lake Heritage Farms turkey.
What was its name? It had a name.
Popcorn. Because sometimes its farmers gave it popcorn. The little fucking card. My name is Popcorn because sometimes my farmers give me popcorn.
So if it tastes like butter, I guess it's a butter ball.
But yeah, so the whole the premise of these is that they're very freshly killed. They're just amazing fucking turkeys, apparently. And so never frozen. So got to cook and eat it on Thanksgiving. And it would be a shame if the entire area had no gas on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens.
Right. And
in the background, Tina's making a not Thanksgiving Christmas tree. That's a Thanksgiving Christmas tree.
Yes, a thanking tree.
A thanking tree. Where everybody has to make leaves where they put what they're thankful for, and then they will have a tree leafing ceremony where they put it together.
Mm-hmm. And what happens next? We hydrate. That's what happens next.
Yes. So Bob freaking out. I forget what Linda's doing in the meantime. But he's freaking out, trying to figure out what he can do talking to Popcorn and talking to the farmer on the box is freaking out. It's just like, because Linda she's just like, well, can we freeze the turkey? And Bob is like, no, like, slight serial killer eyes, no, that can't happen. So yes, having this discussion with Popcorn and with the farmer, and then the internet, and trying to figure out how to essentially cook outdoors, and comes up with the plan to build a fire pit in the alley, and essentially make a roast, like a spit for the turkey to rotate across on 2 mops, with 2 chairs, and the mop had to be sprayed with a fine mist so that it didn't catch fire.
Yes.
And everybody had the job. Everybody else had the job. Everybody that wasn't working the spit or keeping the mops hydrated had the job of going and finding more flammable material to keep tending this flame. Which Louise and Jean were very excited about. Picked through all of the trash in the alley. They rotate Linda upstairs to go get shit to throw in the fire. Lose her for like half an hour because she's like crying over the kids' old artwork and shit. And Bob's just like, you don't have to burn that, just bring me something. And she's going crazy over, like, the little egg carton turtle.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Yeah. One
Or
of
was
those
it?
good
It was a
nostalgic Linda moments.
It's like, here's that squirrel that Gene threw when he was 3, and it says, "I'm nuts for Mom and Dad," and I wrote that because he couldn't write yet.
Oh, great. Just great.
Yeah.
And then Bob cooks the perfect turkey.
Yep. Wait a second. No. The fire department shows up and tells him, "No, this is not cool. Starting fires in alleys is not no bueno, not acceptable, and to put it out, or else they're coming back with the hose and fines." What's the name of their neighbor again? The one across the alley.
The one who works in orthopedics, or
I forget what he does. I know we see him this episode because he's chatting with them before he goes to see his girlfriend, who I think we saw Teddy and Bob helping him prep for meeting on a date when they were helping him move his bed in whatever episode that was.
Yeah, and they also he has the great line of, you know what they say about osteopaths? Maybe that's what he is. You know what they say about osteopaths, right? I go, no, what? He goes, nothing. Nobody says anything about them.
Is that it? Because there's also Louise's slumber party friend Jessica. Her parents are osteopaths. Because Linda was just like, "What are your parents? What are your parents, Mormons?" Or she's like, "Osteopaths." She's like, "What's an osteopath?" It's she's like, "Okay, Jessica, whatever."
Flower Jessica. I wish we saw her more like that.
We've only gotten like 2 episodes, I think, with her in it.
Oh, I don't even remember the second.
Because she's in. There's an episode which is Louise and her and another new girl. And they're looking for Whorfie, this sort of Loch Ness monster that lives by the wharf.
That's right. Is she not in the Mother's Day skit? That would have been the perfect place for her.
She might be, like, kind of in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I hadn't looked for things like that, like, to make sure, like, continuity-wise, like, Millie or this girl are all in her grade still. Or what's his name? Henry Haber's little brother.
Or a
chinchilla named Princess Little Piddles told me.
Oh man, I'm not looking forward to that fucking when we get to the chinchilla episode. I'm not looking forward to that.
And that was the election episode too.
Oh.
That was just when we found out the name of Princess Little Piddles, and then we had the whole episode of, oh my gosh, the fucking scumbag Jonah makes a reappearance in that episode.
Oh, Jonah is just the worst. He's consistently garbage.
He's always trash. Ooh, rolling it back. Now we're not cooking with gas. Yes. So, fire department said no. Linda's like, okay, well, let's clean it up. And Bob's just like, no, we're going to just keep going with this. They were running out of flammable shit. He told the kids to go across to the park and gather sticks to bring back. They found some sticks, but they couldn't find a lot of sticks. They found a bunch of beer cans. Then they found, like, a big-ass fucking log, which eventually they managed to push up a very steep hill, right into another very steep hill, and just narrowly, by, like, sheer stroke of luck, avoided killing someone as that rolled into traffic.
Another one of those episodes.
Yeah, another of those. So not when the family would have died, but we can make a separate list for when they would have killed someone.
Fair, okay.
Yeah, what else then? What else happened? Hey, thank you for following.
Thanks so much.
So, yeah, we were working our way through chatting about all of the Bob's Burgers Thanksgiving episodes.
Yes.
Because that's what we do.
we were coming up on the end of now you're cook now you're not
Now we're not cooking with
gas.
gas.
And this is the part where this episode really starts to stress me out, man.
Bob's 100% breakdown at this point,
Mm-hmm.
as
Oh, yeah.
everything just conspires to shit on him.
Mm-hmm. You can't have nice things.
The kids manage to make it back with the log, but it's totally unworkable. He's just chipping away at it. It starts raining, so he has to make a little tent out of his clothes to protect Popcorn. Popcorn looks like she's actually cooking well, like it's working. There's hope there. There's hope. God, and then the fire department shows back up. Oh no, and it's Tina comes down. Tina's just looking out the window at her father having this emotional break. Comes down with her fucking little tree, and it's like, you could use this, Dad.
I mean,
and he's
Bob's
going
like,
to. There's a good moment there where he's gonna, and he's just like, it won't burn for long, but yeah. Then he starts walking back from that ledge, and then everything just goes to shit because the fire department shows up and the turkey gets just knocked into the fire.
Yeah.
And that's it, right? Then you get like the tree ceremony, and that was kind of the whole thing.
We get the tree ceremony where it's great, and Tina gets the last word, and she has this wonderful like final leaf, and then Bob's like, and I want to apologize to everyone about, y'all are my real treasure, and it doesn't matter what we eat, yada yada. And Tina's like, oh, but that's cool. I said I was gonna say the last one, but no, that's fine. You can do it.
Last leaf is kind of last leaf, but okay, go ahead.
And then they give into temptation, and they eat the turkey, just kind of pinch it off.
It's just sitting in the sink in the background, sad, just completely charred black. And I forget. I think Bob just pokes at it at one point, and like some of the black falls off, and it looks cooked underneath. So he just takes a chunk off, and it's just delicious. And then everybody is just diving into it in the sink.
Yeah.
And it worked, and it was as good as it was everything he thought it would be.
It's so sad that he's only gotten that one. I had a roommate for the longest time, and still very good friends, lovely human, but he would buy rotisserie chickens and just leave them on the counter for a day or two, and he would never make a meal of it. He would just walk past and pull a little bit off and have a nibble. And he just reminded me of a vulture just kind of casually picking apart the corpse. And that scene at
just
the
that
end,
closing scene
very,
at the end.
it's very unpleasant. It's
Oh,
it's a very triggering scene for me, because I would just be like, I would
just
walk
picturing
past
them
it
all
and-
turning into vultures.
Man, it's very unsettling, because there's a turkey there, and then you're like, oh well, there's half a turkey, and then you walk away and you're like, oh my god, there's a carcass there. What did I do?
Do you all like Bob? Do you also think you're Tippi Hedren from The Birds?
I mean, depends on the day and the dosage,
I forget what the actual A story was that episode, but the one where the pigeon got stuck in the restaurant, and then Bob recounts the story from his childhood, and Teddy and Linda are just like, Bob, no, that's just a scene from The Birds.
It's a shot for shot.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I forget what that episode was.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good one.
I do remember the end credits had like a cartoon of Bob like bathing the pigeon.
That is honestly one of that's right up there with the Cranberry Bog.
Oh, yes.
That's right up there with that. Just good screenshots.
Yeah. This is another one that like I liked the episode, but it feels like there's not much there, to like pick at and talk about.
It's not dislike, but it's not a lot of like either.
Yeah.
It's not enough like. It's like it's lower on the list, not because it's a bad episode, but because it's just
it doesn't
good.
It's thinner, maybe.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like, it doesn't taste worse, there's just less of it.
I could see that. But
because I don't like if you had to ask like what were, oh no, I guess they were getting trash and stuff. I was gonna say like I don't really know what Gene and Louise were doing. I'm just like it was not it was not memorable stuff all around. I guess.
Yeah. But that does bring us to what might be. I think this one is definitely in my top 3. Like, I love this episode. I love a good anthology. I love the ones where they talk about the stories the kids wrote that Mr. Fawn confiscated. The Mother's Day stuff. I am a sucker for their anthologies every single time, and this one is great. They bait you at the beginning. It's so good. It's so good.
Oh my god! And it's the nicest Thanksgiving meal I think they've had. Is this episode, or at least the most into it Bob has gotten to be?
Yeah,
because like popcorn was good, but it was not.
It was chaotic.
Delivered in traditional mode.
No, it was delivered vulture style. Yeah.
But this Thanksgiving, Bob's trying all this fun food. He's got his brie, it's pear and brie, warm brie thing. I can't think of the name for what that would be called. Besides just brick of cheese and fruit.
Aperitif, charcuterie.
It was like rosemary bread or something too.
Yeah. Oh man, rosemary bread is really good though. Man, I wish I had some. I'm gonna make some fucking rosemary bread after this.
So, Bob hanging out in the kitchen, cooking up a storm, trying all these cool new dishes, and we find out Gene is quarantined into the only bathroom because he has the stomach flu, and that's the way that the family's rules work, so that the stomach flu doesn't spread between them in this tiny apartment, is that you have to stay in the bathroom until you can keep down what is it, ginger ale and crackers?
Ginger ale and crackers.
Yeah. So that nobody else catches it. And so he is stuck in there, potentially missing out on all of this great Thanksgiving food that he was, watching Bob make and very excited to try. And Linda's telling Gal about this over the phone, and at some point it's just like, Gene, what do you mean, what Gene? Our son Gene. No, the teller at the bank, Gene? Why would he be here?
Oh man, Gail is Gail.
Yep.
But they decide at Gene's behest. They Tina and Louise start telling Gene stories to make him not excited to eat.
It's as the brie and pears are getting served because he can smell it all. Gal can't have it because a psychic told me I'm lactose intolerant. Come on, Dad, a psychic told her that.
Oh, Gail.
So yes, then we get an anthology from the kids of all 80s action movies set to make 80s 90s action movies set to make food the enemy.
Did you have a favorite? Because I know
Predator.
Yeah, Predator. 100% Predator. Predator was so good.
It was really good.
I love the handshake.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good. Tita's was fine, but it did get very Tina erotic, as it normally does, because they were kind of peeling away their clothes.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not a big.
Get off my plane! Really get off my plane! Get off my plane!
Man, it did really make me want brie and pears, though. But yeah, and then there's the Predator, and then we have the big reveal. Yeah.
Yes. Of Bob finding a half-eaten, rotten thing of chicken parm with big Gene-sized bites taken out of it.
And then that we get the flashback to the earlier time.
No, so that's at the end when Gene confesses to everyone.
No, I think that because that's when Bob realized it. Because then Bob came and told Gene the story that involved the chicken parmesan.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
Maybe.
Bob realized it, and that's when he went to go tell Gene. And it was like, it was okay. It doesn't matter that you ate the chicken parm. And then Gene admitted it. I think that's the sequence.
But yes, there was what was it? What was it? Chicken Parmageddon.
Yes. Yeah, it was exactly the plot of Armageddon. Except Gene had to eat
take
the
off his
entire...
mask, take a bite, put his mask back on.
Oh.
And then his fiery diarrhea poop spread across the world.
It's beautiful if you didn't think about it.
Yeah. And also then he was fine because he had a jetpack.
I mean, I like it. It was good. It was self-aware. It had pop references. It was... I like seeing the stories that they thought Gene would want to be seen in.
Oh yeah, Gene and his wife Mom.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing.
I don't want to be married to Courtney. Okay, how about it? No, I want to be married to Mom.
We're gonna have to talk about this later, Gene.
Yeah. Who is it? Was it Vice President Glenn Close, Courtney Wheeler? Was that who it was?
Yes.
Okay, who were the kids that made appearances in all the films? Because I want to say
there was Jimmy Jr. and Zeke and Andy and Ollie in the first one.
I want to say. I was trying to figure out if all the kids were in all of them. Because Courtney was in the first one too, and regular size Rudy as well.
Mm-hmm.
So like I think the 6 of them were in all of them.
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember now
Rudy
who
was
they all
also in
played.
Predator. Yeah, because he gave the mission briefing in Predator, I believe.
Now Jocelyn was one of the security flight attendants, I guess, for Pair Force One.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but I don't remember her in any of the other bits.
I'm not sure. Yeah, she would have been out of place in the Predator, I bet.
Everybody was different. The different bread products that everybody became.
Yeah, I love the Linda Muffins.
The Linda Muffins, yeah.
Linda Muffins are so
Don't
good.
eat me, I'm you idiot.
Just a little bite. It was so good. What a throwaway gag. Man, it was funny. And what was Tina?
Oh, I thought she was a loaf of something.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah. And yeah, and then it ends well. Like, Gene, they realize that this whole time that they've been telling stories, Gene is not thrown up. And so he can come and join the family at Thanksgiving. But surprise, the family's already gathered with their own plates in their laps around the bathroom door so they could be with Gene.
Oh.
But it's a great one. I think this is
one.
definitely in my top 3.
Yeah.
Like this, the Quirk Juicers, and Dawn of the Peck. Like,
yeah,
top 3, easy.
Turkey in a Can is right up there with them for me. I like Thanks Hoarding. That's kind of on the edge of my top 5.
Yeah, okay.
Because I don't, not to make the next one sound bad ahead of time, but I don't think that's going to be in my top 5.
Yeah.
Well, now I feel mean to the next one.
Well, no. Well, let's just
nice
we've expressed how much we love this one, so let's go ahead and hop into that one. Yeah.
It's still a nice episode. Just aired a week or so ago. It's Stuck in the Kitchen with You. They are volunteering at the Elegant Doily Retirement Home this Thanksgiving. I forget if it was... Gosh, now with Linda, I can never remember whether it's Ginger told her something or whether it was Gretchen told her something,
Mm-hmm.
because she uses both of them. I mean, because they're
I
both.
feel like this would be. I think this would be the first
Ginger,
Ginger,
the friend
yes.
that we've never seen,
The friend that
more
we've
than
never
like
seen,
an arm of.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, essentially said like, oh yeah, it's such a nice thing to do, or whatever. So it took all the kids. They were gonna help out there this year. Zeke is there helping out. Officer
This
Bosco.
is the second time that we've seen Zeke at the retirement home.
Yeah, I mean the first one of like him getting him there with the whaler's costume is also just a very fun episode.
It is,
and also has regular size Rudy in it too.
Love a good regular size Rudy.
But yeah, Officer Bosco is here, essentially just fighting with his mom the whole time. Yes, and they are doing. God, what were they doing before getting roped into Zeke's stuff? It was
they were making
turkey
ham
art.
turkeys that had testicles on it.
They couldn't make that look like not testicles.
Yeah.
And the old guy next to Bob was very competitive about the turkey.
He was very mean about it. He was like, I'd start over.
Yeah. So you worry about yours, guy.
Oh, sir, this doesn't. How do I make this look less like a testicle?
But yeah, and then so Bob finds out that they have literally no cook or chef or anybody there to make food, all of the food that's already there waiting to be prepared.
Yeah, because the cook was out for just a minute, maybe an hour.
Because they went into labor.
They did go into labor, and the assistant cook was the father, so,
yeah.
or was the partner?
I'm not sure,
yeah.
But
I forget the terminology that they used. And so they left too.
Yeah.
And it's a nice kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Got some good stuff in it.
Yes. We forgot to mention the whole drive to the Elegant Doily retirement home was filled with the kids reminiscing about what a terror Bob is in the kitchen on Halloween. Essentially just flashbacks of them getting screamed at. like no, get out. It's like, we eat in 30 minutes or something like that.
We eat in 20 minutes. No,
30 minutes.
Yeah. It's good. Yeah. It's very good. This is where they coined the term Thangzilla.
Yes, and so then Linda tells the kids one of them has to go into the kitchen and help Bob. They compete in a softest hand fart competition, which Louise loses, and gets sent in. Bob does his best to tamper down his intensity, unsuccessfully. Yes, which Louise tolerates for a bit and then does not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's while that's happening, Gene and Tina are talking over to Zeke, who was trying to help fix the cable so that all the old people could watch the parade, and that wasn't happening, so they decided they were going to try and make a parade, which an effort was made.
An effort was made. You can unquestionably say that an effort was made.
They had like little Shriner cars. That was just them on wheels or on the wheelie chairs going around.
Oh yeah, man! I was in the hospital when I was in like 4th grade for a bit, and I was real bored, and I've been real twitchy all my life, and so I got on one of those chairs and I started spinning around, and I knocked myself out because I fell off of it, which it was convenient because I was already in the hospital.
Listen, I will not say that not in the last week I first almost fell off of one of those stools at work and then did 10 minutes later fall off of one of those stools at work.
It's faded.
Yeah. Yeah, those stools suck. So yes,
yeah, man.
I mean we get this is maybe a candidate for when the kids might have died.
Didn't they name it? Didn't they call it something else like chasing carts or dodging
Shriner
carts? Shriner carts, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they had all the little fez hats too.
Yeah, that's it.
And
then they had a marching band.
They did have a marching band.
Was Tina the Flag section, I think?
Yes. And Zeke is a really fucking good MC.
Mm-hmm.
He
did really good. Like, it was a legitimate effort on the kid's part.
Man, I think, and I love the entire Bob's Burgers cast, and I hope that in the theoretical future that they exist in, they all do super well. But I think Zeke is the only one who's gonna fucking make it.
What does that mean?
Dude, Zeke he's charismatic, he's energetic, he doesn't necessarily have to be book smart, but he's good at making friends, and he comes in the right place. It's nice. Comes from the right place, and he'll succeed in life. I think we really see that in this video. Like, he adapts to the situation so well.
He also has a perfect palate.
He does, doesn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, man. Zeke is wild. Absolutely wild.
There's so much good Zeke content across the series.
He is an assassin as well. Yeah. He's known to purple and nurple in his day.
Mm-hmm. God, the fucking cheerleading episode.
So good. Yeah, Monica B's a jerk like you.
Mr. Ambrose is the fucking cheer squad guy. Oh, I love Mr. Ambrose.
God. Mr. Ambrose. Fucking Mr. Ambrose. Jeez.
Yeah, and then Linda, while all of this is going on, is drawn into the Bosco family fighting. Kind of does her thing of stepping into everybody else's business.
Again.
Yep. Gets sucked into that, and is worried that she's going to be a bitter old woman in a home at some point throughout the episode, but we're constantly reminded that they wouldn't be able to afford to live in a home.
Mm-hmm.
And then, in the kitchen, as things are going poorly, Louise makes the decision that she can, if she does badly enough, she'll get kicked out of the kitchen and then not have to be there anymore. As Bob tries to redouble his efforts to not be as overbearing.
Well, see, this is after he sent her out of the kitchen. This is after he was he like just took over every task that she was doing.
Right.
And then she left.
Yeah, so I don't think he told her to leave, but I think she walked out.
She just kind of She was going to the bathroom or something.
Yes, and then she got on one of the wheelie
Strander carts. Yeah,
yes.
And then that's when he found her and he made her Captain Casserole.
Well, so that was at the beginning. That was one of their first things, because it was before they got the Brussels sprouts started getting involved. He was going through all the stuff in the kitchen and found that and got her excited about it. But then everything started stacking up, and then in the course of her deciding to do everything poorly, they come to that at the end, and Bob's just like, well, you only get one chance to do this. I need to do it because you've been fucking everything up. And she's like, no, I've been doing that on purpose.
Ooh, wrong thing to say.
Yeah, exactly. So they have a falling out over that.
And again, I don't think we mentioned this at the beginning, but this meal was intended to be turkey and mashed potatoes. This was not supposed to be a big deal. Bob mentioned numerous times that this wasn't going to be a big deal. And then he made it a 9-course meal.
Yeah, he kept finding more things to add in. Like, we could add in the sweet potatoes, we could add in the Brussels sprouts, we could add in the green beans. And, he's not wrong. They were able to get it done. It was just a lot. For a situation where he was trying, where, he had made a verbal commitment to try and not do that.
But I mean, then it works out. They make a float, and that's the real star of the parade. The medical supplies float.
Medical supplies float. And then Gene's the rubber hand balloons.
Yes. And then the nurse walks by and goes, "Oh, so that's where all these medical supplies went."
Look, they're just like, this is the medical supplies. And then they're just like, oh fuck, that's the medical supplies. Like they only have so much. They noticed that this was gone.
And it's at that point, like, Officer Bosco's mom finally came out so that she and the other old people in the back could shit talk the kids. Bob enters his float, which the I'm sorry Louise character float from Pixar.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, I don't know. Bob. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say Bob becomes self-aware like this a few times in the series, and it's always at the end of the thing. It's like, all right, Bob. I know there's no continuity here. I know you're not the ice cream machine. Let's remember the same lesson.
Well, I think I was thinking on this, and I think it's a lot of the Bob plus one of the kid centric episodes.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the time revolves around Bob trying to like connect with them via something that he likes and coming on way too strong about it.
Yeah.
Because we see it a lot. Which
like
is
in the drone episode?
The drone episode with Gene.
Cool.
The rock opera, the laser show with Gene.
Mm-hmm.
Here with Louise.
Taking Tina driving.
Yes. It's kind of the him and Louise not being able to poop outside of the apartment.
Yep. Yep.
So I think there's a lot of there's a lot of situations where it's the same kind of thing, and so the same lesson popping up.
Mm-hmm. But no, I mean it's fine.
But at the same time, I feel like Bob is not very needy, I feel like, overall.
Yeah.
I feel like he asks for very little.
He asks for his, like, 2 days a year to be fucking batshit crazy.
Oh,
maybe
gosh.
3.
It's the holiday episode where they talk about it, where it's like you actually see it happen on a cycle, where he gets just... He gets just wrong. He's like talking to food that's not there and like not making burgers right. That was the episode where they had to like lock him out of the apartment.
Yes. Yeah.
But
and
it's
then
I
he had
feel
to
like
go work somewhere else.
yes.
I do
and
love the ending song.
Patricia's sandwich shop, right?
Yeah, Patricia's 73 sandwiches,
Something
76
like
sandwiches. Yeah. And like the ending song on that one really brings me a lot of joy because it's they're just naming off sandwiches. And they're like 91, and she's like, "Don't trick me. That's not a sandwich."
Yeah, it doesn't go up to 91.
It's good.
But I feel like what I was saying, I mentioned earlier, is this to me reminded me of the community garden episode. In times where I feel like a few episodes where we see Bob with like a hobby or a passion, it's always taken to that extreme.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like we don't see him ask for a lot. I know he's being a lot, but we don't see him ask for much. Maybe just let him have this.
Yeah, because I mean, as soon as he realizes that he and Gene both like banjo, he does just the next day go out and buy like a 5-volume DVD set.
Oh yeah. Which is funny, and I hadn't thought about how you think of Linda as the one that comes on stronger in the kids, in the relationship with the kids, but Bob does the exact same thing.
Oh, 100%.
Because like the mommy daughter freaking seminar.
Oh, yeah,
that was one of my favorite episodes.
I mean that, and the mother-daughter bonding day. The terrible one where Logan is there.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Oh shit. Okay.
The
I thought you were talking
seminar.
about the one where she went with Tina.
Oh no,
the convention.
I love that episode too.
Oh.
The hotel episode. I love that one. And Bob's bachelor party that Louise and Gene throw.
Right.
The bachelor party. But no, the one where whatever Dakota Apple whatever. The Oh, I forget the mom, the mommy blog name. There was some stupid fucking
Yes.
pun, and I can't remember it.
The phenomenon.
The Phenomenon, yes.
That's it, yeah.
We are all estro geniuses. Say it with me. And then Louise is just like, oh no.
I've been tricked.
Yes, she and Logan get locked into the Uter room, which is just Freaky Friday playing on a loop.
Oh. Don't know how they don't break the TV.
I love that episode.
The question is it the original or the remake?
I think it was the remake.
Does it say? I don't think it's
I don't remember. I don't know.
Okay, with this Thanksgiving episode.
Mm-hmm. Rolling it back.
Rolling it back. We're going back just a bit.
I mean, I liked it. It was fine.
Yeah. It's kind of an apathetic, like, okay, I mean, it's good. They're all good. It's like the bar is high, it meets the bar, but it does nothing to exceed it. I've been kind of meh about both of the holiday episodes this year. I'm looking forward to Christmas. I know they're gonna slay.
Was the Halloween one? Yes. Yes.
They're gonna slay.
Oh, fuck you.
That was fucking slick.
God damn it. That was good.
Yeah, no, I think they're gonna do a great Christmas episode. I'm very excited for it.
Well, shit. That was the last one.
Bah.
Any closing thoughts?
Oh man, I love their Thanksgiving episodes so much. They bring so much joy, and like there's like I don't really want to watch the Christmas ones really like outside of Christmas time mostly. I am a sucker for a holiday special though. We could do our own show about cartoon specials. I've got ideas for further shows in the future. I'm saying this live so I can so one of us will hold the other accountable. No, I like these. I think almost all of them are wonderful standalone episodes.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, Dawn of the Pack is just, I think that is not even just my favorite of these, but like one of my favorite episodes, period.
It's so, yeah, I think I watched it like yesterday. It was great. It stays good. It ages very well going. Like, it's so surprising that it was season 5. It just blows my fucking mind.
Oh gosh, it came out in 2014. It was 7 years ago.
I still lived in America then. That is forever ago. Wow, it took me so long to catch on to Bob's Burgers. Yeah, that's all I got.
Well, shit, cool. What
are your final thoughts?
No, nothing. No thoughts.
No thoughts, head empty.
Yes. No, I think there's a lot of Thanksgiving. There's a chunk of the Thanksgiving episodes that I really love, and then a chunk that are just like, yeah, I'll watch this if it comes back on, but it means nothing else to me. But you know, some of them just have like some really cute or like specific moments that I like. So like Turkey in a Can, Dawn of the Peck, Quirk Juicers, Thanks Hoarding. Those are all ones that I like to go back to.
Yeah, I mean, they're all good. I guess it's the moral of the story. There are some standouts depending on which ones. You know, there are some standouts on a crowd of good.
I mean, we talked about this too with the Halloween episodes. It's you're gonna be hard pressed to find an episode I just genuinely don't like. So it's just kinda like, here's the shit I really like. Here's the ones that are like just baseline good. But yeah, all right. Do you want to plug yourself again?
Yeah, Pat. Plug myself live on stream. Hi, I'm Zan. I hope you understand my strange mind a little bit better after the end of this broadcast. I do tabletop things on Tuesdays and Thursdays, way early as fuck in the morning, like 3 a.m. Central Time at the moment, over on Polished Cryptid's channel. I
I do stuff here. I also do stuff on my channel. I just this week started a playthrough of Ogre Battle 64 Person of Lordly Caliber, which may be my favorite game ever made. It's so good, and I am being a bit of a fun person, and I am voice acting the entire game because it's for the N64 and there ain't no voices, baby. So it's a lot of me talking and a lot of me not saying very much important stuff. It's just piles of fucking lore. It's great. I'm gonna stream it again soon because I want to play it. And I did a little bit of grinding, and we got some Hulkmen in the party now, but I'll get to that later. And I do tabletop and therapy related things and all that good shit that accompanies it. And that's me. Who are you, Pat?
I'm Pat. I'm a tech trick on Twitter, on Twitch, on YouTube. You found here, so you found one of those places. Yeah, and it's my schedule of streamed content is currently up TBD. So I will post more stuff on Twitter once we got a bit more logistics figured out there. But yeah, thank you anybody for joining us. I hope somebody besides us is enjoying just listening to us chat about this shit because I'm having a great time.
Oh yeah, it's always a pleasure.
If anybody else is, then that's great. Well, cool. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Farewell.